Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Skin Place launching an event with a total prize pool of $10,000 in honor of our first anniversary. Just sell skins, claim daily bonuses, complete missions, visit the shop, and participate in the main giveaway with popular skins and a powerful PC. Follow our social media to not miss.
It's playoffs time here at CCT North America as we get into the round of 16. My name is Vincent, joined by Exner here on the broadcast. Cole, how are you doing, man?
Doing fantastic. It's going to be fun here to talk through CCT North America playoffs. We get to cover a lot of this action so far throughout the Swiss stage, and it's going to be fun to see how things shape up, how things finish, with such strong teams making their introduction into the playoffs as well. It should be an absolute blast.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. There was like a lot of swap ups, and like the Swiss stage of this event, I feel like there's like the upper echelon of teams, and then there was everyone else. And I was wondering kind of how that was going to play out for playoffs, but I think the matchups that we've ended up getting here are actually very exciting. I think a lot of fun, a lot of like opportunities available here for some teams to go deep, considering, some of those like upper echelon teams aren't here. We're not seeing, everybody necessarily. So, yeah, I mean, we could take a peek at the bracket and talk about what I'm referring to. Obviously, Legacy come in like as huge favorites. You got NRG on the other side and Nouns in the same boat, but like outside of that, I mean, I'd say the bottom left-hand side of this bracket relatively open to, a Fluffy Aimers. I think they could make a deep run to like a semifinal here if they take a win over like a Laser team. Like, there's a lot of cool stuff happening.
Absolutely. I'm really looking forward to it. Like you said, I think this opens up a lot of opportunities for teams. There's some strong rosters joining the frays here. I mean, you look at the bottom right side of that bracket, it's pretty terrifying. NRG and Boss going to be on a warpath. Party Astronauts showing some vulnerabilities as well, showing that they're a team that can be upset as of recent. And of course, I think Nouns are going to be hungry to get back into a grand final and actually, claim a victory here in the CCT. That's what their goal is, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, kick Legacy's butt. That's got to be the number one priority. Obviously, though, like you said, with NRG on their side of the bracket, gotta get there, assuming that NRG can best the likes of Boss in the same category. So, yeah, lots of interesting stuff to kind of talk through. But today we start with the round of 16, and today we get to start with a couple of matches that I'm actually pretty excited for. We're on the opposite sides of the bracket. Our first game, Akimbo and Lag, and then that'll lead us into Undefined up against Party Astronauts. And I mean, of these two, we've got both the winner and then the runner-up of Advanced against two teams, Lag a little bit more so than Party Astronauts, but both of them have been making changes. Lots of roster moves of this season of ECL, trying to shuffle their way into victory. This is interesting. You really got a lot of cool pieces that are being put together. But I mean, I guess let's laser focus in a little bit on this Akimbo and Lag matchup. What's like the first thing you think of when you talk about this matchup? What are you looking forward to?
I mean, both of these rosters are kind of looking at a bit of a bounce back. Obviously, like I really like what Lag have been able to do throughout this year, but when you talk about some of the hits that this roster's taken, I think they're going to be certainly feeling the pain of like a missing OG Wizard. Usually a player that I really like to highlight on this roster, but now no longer with this squad. So you're going to have to look at some other pieces of the puzzle, and I think there's a lot more potential with the actual rifle core that this roster brings together to build back strong. That was a huge part of Lag's success, and I fully anticipate that that'll be something that we see in this matchup. New additions here being bringing in Trojan, who does have quite a bit of experience. I remember watching this guy play for, I think he substituted for like Eternal Fire, and then he was on Eternal Fire Academy for a little while before that roster kind of blew up. And it's been cool to see him come back into the mix and play with this squad.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. Like his history, I think is pretty interesting. Dusty was doing an interview with him, and apparently he's a dual U.S. and Turkey citizen, so like he's kind of gone back and forth, and that's why, like you said, he was with Eternal Fire Academy, got that opportunity after playing with a couple of interesting advanced teams that were all like 4 or 5 players like Turkish, which I think is crazy, but in all in North America. Had some success there in advanced. Obviously, though, man, I think that swap up, as good as Trojan can be, I mean, he was at Fragacago where I got to see him play as part of the B-Hop team that I think made some upsets. I think that OG Wizard was such a huge part of this team. For me, it's something that Lag have got to prove that this is the right move. Because OG Wizard wasn't playing bad, like didn't statistically look like he was struggling. So the fact that he's the one going out does raise some red flags, but I'm a big fan of what Ray was putting together on Detonate before Lag picked him up. So I think that addition in the rifling department is huge for Lag moving forward. And it's going to have to be big as we flip things over, because Akimbo, they're off the back of a big W in advance. They take Undefined in 5 maps in a best of 5 series. But there's some changes here. There's some differences than the normal lineup that you would have expected. And that's Taggy and Mike, who are apparently playing. Taggy been in for, kind of like a super sub, actually, for this team. Has, I think played the last Swiss stage. But from what I understand, Cole, Mike coming in, don't have any idea what like level of experience he's got. I just know he's the guy that is, handles the organizational side of things. I don't know what his actual role is with Akimbo, if he's like a co-owner or like a just like a manager for their CS team. Regardless, he's in the server for tonight, and I think that's going to be interesting to watch.
It is going to be very interesting. I mean, especially talking about kind of a tough hit for this squad. Obviously, you would like to see Laxi come through into this team and be able to perform in playoffs, but not being able to lean in on his performances in this matchup, and then bringing in Mike into the mix. We'll see how that one fares up as we're ready to hop in and talk a little bit about the vetoes and where we're going to be playing things out. The battlegrounds between these two rosters, and again, looking forward to seeing this head-to-head take place. Yeah, I feel like both teams looking on a bit of like a rebuild process and going through some chops and changes, but we'll see what they can make of it as Vertigo getting rid of out of the gates for the side of Akimbo. Makes a little bit of sense there, leaning in on what is going to be like a lot of reps being played out for lag and then picked out of the gates for this Akimbo Ancient, which I've always really liked with this roster. I feel like the core of this team really knows how to work some good map control. We were able to show some impressive results all throughout 2024, I feel like, and always feels like a map that can go their way.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, Ancient, it's been one of their go-tos, and Vertigo also their perma. That's the only map that they don't actually play in the pool. I think it is a little bit of a struggle right now. Lag have had a lot of losses recently. In fact, they don't even have a map win since Trojan comes in. Now, granted, they played a lot of good teams. They played like Legacy in ECL, so it's not that big a deal, and it's only been a couple of maps. But I think Mirage is definitely a place that they have had success with in the past, and regardless of their current win rate, this is a map that they're gonna have to work towards. The issue for me is that this is actually a great Akimbo map. Now, how great is it going to be when you don't have your star rifler in Laxi? Don't know that at all, and that may be an issue, but it does open some avenues of difficulty. In Akimbo, it's in the similar vein. They don't have a lot of maps played on HLTV, but Anubis is actually a pretty comfortable map for them as well. Now, granted, I think lag probably, I would favor them in that Anubis matchup more than anything. The difficulty for me in this map pool is that I don't know what to expect from Akimbo without Cameron and without Laxi. Like, literally zero clue. Like, if it was just one swap up, it would be different, because Taggy came in with this roster, played well, helped them win actually against Isola Laser in the final game of the Swiss stage. They played that right before they went into a best of 5 and won advanced. So, like, if it was just one guy, it would be different, but it's two swap ups, and I feel like that's going to hurt Akimbo a lot more than it would otherwise mean.
It's going to be very difficult. Yeah, it's just feels like they're gonna have to grasp at some straws here to try and work with the pieces that they have. I mean, that's kind of the roster that they've been able to fill. It is in that case, so it's not going to be an easy matchup. And as you highlighted here, when you talk about like playing very key roles here, you got to step into a very difficult position when you're filling in for a player like Laxi, who's trusted with a lot of control on the map. It's going to shift up how you play the map entirely, or at least it should, in theory. So, are the same strengths, are your bread and butter, picks throughout this year still going to be as strong, given the fact that you don't have that same roster played out?
Yeah, I think for me, like on Ancient, I'm a little less worried, because I think that Akimbo's like well drilled. I think that they can make that work on Ancient. The difficulty is Mirage. Their game plan on Mirage Akimbo is super commonly just to like scrim out mid a lot, and the guys that are there like at the forefront of that game plan is like first and foremost Laxi +1. A lot of times it's been Cameron more recently. Also a guy that's not in Taggy, though I'm not super worried about with regard. I know that he can slot into that relatively well because he's done it before. And obviously the second phase of that is more about Neo on the op, but the fact that Laxi is like the key rifler for their T side on Mirage, that's worrying for me. That's something that there's literally no other players in North America, or I should say not no other players, but like maybe 5 other players that can do what Laxi does on the T side of Mirage, and that's just walk out mid and rip people's heads off so consistently. That's a guy like Classia can do that, but there's not that many of them.
Yeah, or needs a lot of setup, needs a lot of attention, needs a lot of love. But I mean, like a fundamental of, I think, NA Mirage is how effective your mid control is, how effective a mid execute can be on both sides of a half, meeting and landing those punches. And if you are missing those key players, it's going to completely shift up your path to success, your win conditions here. And yeah, it's just a difficult situation that Akimbo face in this head-to-head into this matchup. Have done such good work to lock that advance win in, a very difficult team to play up against and undefined, and I was impressed with what they were able to do, but obviously now it sets them up for a playoff run here in CCT that I don't know if they're really set up for success.
Yeah, I think that's the hard part, and honestly, maybe potential disappointing part for me, depending on how this goes. Yeah, like if they get a win here, what a cool story.
Yeah.
But if not, I just can't already before we go into the first map. I already feel like if that doesn't happen, I gotta feel like what could have been, like what type of build this could look like for a team like Akimbo that is also going to be sidelined here for just a little bit probably as well, considering the wait time that they're going to have between the end of the season. They can't play advanced into season 51, I'm pretty sure. So either way, I'm hoping to see kind of that top level, but it's also a proving ground for lag, man. They've struggled. It's not been great. These games I mentioned, difficult games that they played in ECL right now, since bringing Trojan in, but this is the chance for them to show, okay, we're making moves, we're stepping forward. It's been a couple of weeks now since those changes. Apparently, we're not quite ready to jump into the action show, so I think we're going to hit a quick break, and then when we come back, we will get Ancient started for you guys. It's game time. Here in the round of 16. Kick things off with Ancient, where Akimbo have elected to bring us. We've got a new set of 5 players that haven't all 5 been in the server for Akimbo in this tournament. Taggy been in before, as we mentioned, but Mike, not so much. But the T side start, Colt. And they'll head towards B for the moment, though it's not a fast play. They'll take their time.
A little burst action. So they like to set themselves up pretty quickly on in towards this B side. As you said, a little delay. Maybe for the best, as they have a whole lot of resistance around that corner, trading a little bit of damage, but nothing too crazy. Surprisingly enough. Smoke is in. I was going to queue up this aggression. There's no flashbangs or anything like that. Just going to be firepower. There's no dual Berettas, though, either for the side of Lag. They're just hoping that they can land these quick shots out of the USP, and nothing really gives in that sense. Surprised to see that, so used to seeing, like, 2 sets of dual Berettas on this B site in a defense. They have just 4 players. And
yeah,
Glock's quickly overrun.
I mean, I guess to be fair, you go for the Kevlar, thinking, okay, we've got the bodies, let's armor them up. But I tend to agree, though. I mean, the dualie's just so powerful, just as an option. But Akimbo making it look quite simple, quite easy, as they rock up to a 4-stack on B and break it apart with no issues whatsoever. Now this T side for Akimbo, I feel like Cameron takes a lot of active roles on this, so I'll be interested to see kind of how this goes. And so walk out of mid, they got the house smoke down, and the USP's trying to stack themselves up. Mike will pick up 2 there on the exit, and will confirm the victory. Couple of eeks to pick up the pieces.
Bro, look at Mike's headset.
Yeah? Wait, hold on. Nah. He's got the certified Office Space
Wow.
non-Logitech randoms.
Wow.
Oh man. I think I had a couple of those.
Is that over the ear?
Yeah, I think I had a couple of those, Colt. You know, I worked IT for 5 years. I think I had
Yeah.
a couple of those that I buried deep in the back of our closet, because I never wanted anyone ever to find them.
Oh no. Mike, man. You think he's getting that pure vision out of that, man? He's hearing colors.
Everything.
That's crazy. He's got a couple of ecos though, not too bad. Good to start things off. Akimbo still showing that they can maintain some of those fundamentals. This map control, despite some of the changes. Comparative getting aggressive. Nice little opening duel for him, but Taggy takes it right on back there with some coverage.
That's
through
bomb.
Donut. That's a tough fight to win. Oh, you're right. That is bomb, but it's recoverable. Second kill's not going to help him too much. N2O is flanking through the backlines. They are in everywhere. All over the map.
Yeah, and while that's happened, the bomb was recovered by Krause, but Trojan's still here. Got to play some rendezvous with Taggy, and I think it's a waiting game for Krause to see if they can get a move forward, and that'll do. That'll do nicely. Adjustment needed to be made, but Trojan had the look. It'll be a Taggy attempted 1v2 here.
Ooh, misses out on that timing on the initial fight as well. Not able to collect. Trojan gonna be showing some shoulder, getting flanked though. His days could be numbered. They should be. So that flank will come through eventually. Nickx able to close, lag onto the board with the quickness.
It's all about Experative in this round. Obviously, Weezer gets that kill, but it's the forward push that Experative gets down ramp onto Mike. That's what drops the bomb, and then he's super proactive, playing off of his teammates to trade onto the next guy up. Eventually goes down to Taggy, but he was at the forefront of most of those forward positions for Lag.
See a bit of a weakened up purchase as well for that. Tough start to that last round, dropping the bomb a little bit early, getting those quick repositions. This time dropped into a more passive location. So it should be good.
And Akimbo.
Oh, you can see that one being lined up. Krause positions himself perfectly. Weezer doesn't know what hit him.
Yeah, they've been tucked into the cubby already a couple of times. Lag. And I think Akimbo rightly started to read into that. I was going to say before that happened, Akimbo have had pretty much no resistance over in mid in these gun rounds. Only now Nick-X is going to start moving forward. That's the gun barrel spotted and will hold the line off angle for Experative. Neil with a nice trade frag, though. There's still more resistance to be offered. Leaves Krause and Mike in the 2v3, pardon me. Bomb plant's a possibility.
Another clutch, though. Also identifies where both players are. Spam comes through, knowing where Nick-X is as well. Walks back into the corner, though. Expecting a potential reposition, I'm sure. Misses out on opportunity there to clutch up. Does get the bomb plant at the very least, but shut down with the quickness. And it's going to be tying things up here for Lag on relatively quick fashion. Going up with a lot of success. I just feel like at the moment, Lag are positioning themselves super effective to constantly win the trade game here.
Yeah, playing very coordinated, I would tend to agree. Nothing you can do about that one if you're Weeza, but like this off angle for Experative is like a gimme every time. You can play that 1 time and a half and you should be guaranteed a kill out of it. And just like you're saying, playing off of one another really incredibly efficiently. Leaves Akimbo lacking. And I think for Lag, Eminem's doing a lot of really good work with some interviews in Fragikago and talking to Experative. I think it was about trying to get some of these more aggressive riflers into the team, like Ray, and I think like Weeza. It's kind of been their goal.
Again, made 2 really impressive pickups for me. Hoping to see them succeed with this squad here long term, and I think a good run in CCT could, start to make that happen. Get them rolling here, get them confident. Despite what I feel like is a bit of a tough loss.
And despite what has been a bad ECL run, I mean, they're currently sitting outside the playoffs. They've got 4 more games to play. And technically possible for them to make playoffs, but they've got to prey on the downfall of Timberman.
Well, first might have been answered there after Ross has kind of exploded after the tough break at closed qualifiers.
Yep.
So the prayers might be answered for this this Lag squad.
Still got to win the games. I think they got some very winnable games though. Revenge Nation plus one other. Mythic maybe.
That's winnable to me. For
Me
what
too.
we've seen out of those teams this season. So I mean, again, just building up some steam, building up a little bit of momentum heading into this.
A little different look.
Yeah, I mean, setting your sights on a good playoff run would be huge.
I think they can do it. Forward position though, for Weeza.
Oh,
Right, double smoked. Damage done. Somehow no kills off that, but no, the change up is Taggy. Keeps spamming. Weeza can't believe it. He sent 60 rounds down range and eventually gets off scot-free. OB already all the way forward. Now they only have to deal with Ray and Donut.
just never giving up on that spam is so absurd. Can't believe it. Still comes through. Again, now more resistance being met. They're entrenched into this A side. And outside looking in, can't even start the conversation now with that smoke being placed. And Krause is working the B side for extra security. That's going to be an easy save call. They've just done it with ease.
I mean, Akimbo got the entire map, pretty much. Lag really swapped things up here in this round. They changed where I mentioned how they've been playing relatively off mid. They had 3 players there early with a full mid take. They had lane control as well, and they were taking it with the double door smoke that ultimately was their undoing. And all of that was good, except Akimbo managed to push the right buttons on the extremities and get everything. Obi walks through Temple, no resistance, nobody sees him, and he's just tucked into that corner that Nick X is currently looking at, man.
Pretty wild. They're able to get away with out of the gates, finding themselves that entrenched in towards the B side, finding their way through the aggression early on as well. All handled all the way through. This time, you know, full efficiency on the purchase. That's a crazy headshot though. Trojan does not know what hit him with a kill coming through like that. That is absolutely nasty. A burst out of the rifle, the AK best the AWP.
Gotta wonder what Experative can put together in this one. Up close in the smoke, it's a dangerous game, especially if they wait, but Obi provides them an opportunity. Spam continues and damage done. Somehow Experative lives on 1 HP, but a single bullet. And as that smoke fades, surely not more, he gets it anyway. With Weeza to provide coverage, Mike will be working it. At least attempting to. 1v3, unable. But unfazed, smiles on his face. Lag still walk away victorious. And Akimbo with a start. A bit of a dream start, actually. Early victories. It's not quite been that easy ever since. None of these rounds, an immediate win for Lag. Obviously, Akimbo picking up a win, not last round, but the previous, but I've never been able to build anything, never been able to put it together. Leaves them lacking once again economically. 2 pistols to work with alongside the AKs. Certainly not been able to see the op from Neo that I would have liked to. Ray, this is what Lag we're looking for from Ray. The ability to get involved in these mid-round scenarios, just taking the fight dry at mid, and he wins it out.
Displaying pure confidence in the duel. Early on. Be able to knock down a clean one. And now sets up a 4v5 already with a little bit of lesser of a weaponry. And I talked about how Lag have positioned themselves so effectively to survive and sustain throughout these rounds. They will give over the bomb site to play into the 4v5 potentially. No extra kills given. That's a quick one for Mike's. Tech 9. Turning that corner with conviction, getting those late rotates out. They have an equalizer found by the stand-in and Mike. Gonna find even more here as well. Into pre-fire onto the cache of Experative, and that is a clean connection. Smoke goes high. It looks like it's leaning in on the cave position as well. There's an extra peek rolling on through though, and the HE will finish off into So they double back in towards cave. The bomb stick gonna come through here, just hoping for some spam to roll their way. Some of it is connecting. Both players now identified into this position of cave, and chasing through. Trojan will distract long enough to convert, and Lag, again, will just survive through the round.
Yeah, that one looking pretty convincing, though. Outside of a nice frag out of Mike, there's not a lot going for Akimbo in this round. They have control of the cave side, and that's what gives them any chance of victory. But once Neo gets that, Lag just closed them in. One by one, smoke them off, and despite the spam, it's not as effective as they would have hoped. It's still a tight game. But so constant is Akimbo working with this, like, 3 rifles plus 2 concessions, whether those be pistols or SMGs.
They always have the availability to keep the pressure on here. Credit to the bomb plants. A re-peek is a little ambitious there on Trojan's AWP presence. Once again knocked out very quickly by a rifle. There's a sideline as well for Nick X. A little lackadaisical in the cross, and those 2 entries alone should give Obi and the rest of the squad a sight line. That's a crazy timing on the spam, though. Just a little gut feeling going in. Bomb's going to be delayed in transition forward, so...
Yeah, but, I mean, it looks to me like Weeza unsure even based on that delay. This is going to be a confirmation towards A. It will be, and once the bomb goes down, it'll be a save called, particularly now, as Weeza left all alone. Cash in the pockets of his teammates, so they should be okay to rebuy. But keeping all the bells and whistles that Weeza actually has, his kit worth a pretty penny when you're talking molly, smoke, flash, and kit.
Ah, he's been spotted. It's a quick dismissal there from Krause, and Akimbo find themselves a very comfortable one. As you highlighted, just the constant pressure of Akimbo with rifles in just about every round in some form or fashion. They win, and then they put pressure on the economy in return. Looked very easy for OP as well. Just got away with some quick mid control.
Yeah, no overstep by Trojan, I think, big deal. You get that opportunity, he's in the right position, but that's one you just have to concede. Can't get greedy.
You got to think, I want to get activated with this op, so you start to force the play. And you end up getting sidelined. Well, again, op's not having as much impact in this matchup as it's a quick dismissal.
That's the first time Neo's had one, and it's just Ray pushing mid. Activity there being handled pretty easily by Mike. Weeza pushes forward and gets removed. So Akimbo weathering the storm of some early round losses. They haven't really maintained any map control anywhere. They're boxed in for the most part with no escape towards mid, only chances to go back towards spawn, but Akimbo could fight their way out. They're going to have to get their fists bloodied, an adjustment made, but Nick X quicker, and quicker still in the double up. Nick X might be low, but Mike's got them all to do. 1v3.
So the standing can step up for. Gets the bomb retrieved. Got a lot to meet in the middle side of things, though, and time is ticking slowly but surely. He's going to make the route leaving towards that B side. He does have some utility. I mean, a full belt. All it matters is really if he can get this smoke off towards short, maybe lock in a bomb plant, but with every second that ticks, is one it's going to be used against him. And that molly on top of the site will secure it. He knows. Going to have to call it a save.
That's a nasty Molotov to have at 10 seconds in the round left. Kind of crazy.
Actually is super impressive.
like, especially considering, I mean, I know they didn't necessarily have to go searching for anything, but especially towards the B site. Regardless, it's 6-4, and here's the continuation of what we've been seeing. Akimbo, they've arguably not had to take an eco, and they won't pretty much the whole half. I mean, they had a pistol round, I guess, but even that round, I mean, it was more than just pistols. I think they had armor. It's been an interesting game, though. Lag really playing with Akimbo on whether or not they're taking mid control. Sometimes Akimbo walk out here uncontested, and other times they've got 3 players met. Obi, though, Doesn't matter if he's contested. He's winning those duels. He's the guy to open up doubly so towards the A-bomb site in the round that Akimbo won most recently. He's done it again.
It's been so sharp. Now Mike's able to catch some of the re-aggro there. Excellently handled. Kralls will back it up with the contact play. Now it's looking a lot more efficient here. Akimbo looking like they understand their role so effectively. Hope he can control middle. You know, that was a little bit of worries. Talk about the map of Mirage, but how are you going to be able to work this map in middle as well? On a T side, Nobi has proven to be a huge asset. He's going to go and clear this A side. I'm pretty sure he heard the reload of Ro16. Either way, he's making the right move here. It's all targets set on Weeza. Put on a timing game now. And one trade away from closing this out. And Intagi's so quick on it. It's never going to happen.
No, he's so far away is the issue. And yeah, I mean, impressive from Obi for sure. I will say that, you know, Obi is not the guy to talk about with regards to, like, the best player on this Akimbo roster. Not even really close. He's the caller from what I understand for Akimbo. But I will say, his, like, raw aim talent is still really impressive. Like, he will hit some shots that... I'll put it this way, like, you won't see other in-game leaders hit, ever.
Look at that, man. You've been able to find the finishing blow. Back it up. Yeah, I mean, even in this matchup, it's not a lot of kills he's rocking. 6 and 7 at the moment, but you sure do feel the impact when he finds a kill on the server.
Yeah, double opener towards mid. Opens up mid once again. I think you're right. I think Ray was hurt on that reload. So I think that's why Akimbo had such ease of which they could hunt him down. It's a tough loss for Lag because it means that they've got nothing in this round. It's pistols and armor. The only upgrade is an MP9, which ain't bad. Particularly not for Weeza, who's typically towards B, but still doesn't feel good.
Gonna have to end this with a force buy. Otherwise we split the difference, we go up 6s. As you highlighted, Mike so far we tested on the CT side. I'm gonna be interested to see where he's gonna be playing things. I'd imagine over towards that B side in some form or fashion, just anchoring things down, but so far has been able to have some efficiency, understand his roles effectively. But look at this, man. Into the A side they go. Intuo is looking to cut off rotations, but the rotations are not coming from where you might expect. Mike still just locks in the digits. By some miracle, he finds a way to plant the bomb. One shot, one tap straight through the smoke on a connection. We'll put him to rest, but flank is formulating here. That's a crazy swing from Ro16. He turns the corner with conviction. Corral's looking to spam the smoke as a desperation on the bomb planter, and Lag find a way to win. Truly unreasonable as they devastate Akimbo in the final round of regulation, or final round of the first half.
I cannot believe that Ray turns around to that. My jaw is on the floor. Like, what a read. They're forcing the bomb plant there too, and they get away with it. And he's still thinking about this CT flank. I'm blown away by that. That's so impressive from Ray. Ends out the half, leading the charge for not quite the server. Nick X is close by just ahead, but a triple kill in the final round of the half to make those 5-7s work their magic. Gives Lag a tight lead at halftime. So they take a timeout. One of the first times we're getting to see, at least in this tournament, their new coach. And El Principe? I don't know how to say this guy's name, but he spent some time over over with Trojan on Eternal Fire Academy, and Trojan speaking very highly of him. He's a real smart guy, so...
Well, I mean, even though that Eternal Fire Academy roster kind of had some... it had an unfortunate end with the two banned players using like some weird facet exploit. I don't know the full details, but
yeah,
we remember the
console,
drama, right?
The console command that you can use to like see through walls or like get like a wall hack.
Right. So yeah, I mean, if you remember that, separated Joda, sent him over to Singal. But like that team had some serious firepower, some serious players. You saw what Jota could do over at Pro League Season 20.
Wicadia?
He was... Yeah. I mean, at one point. So, like, if this guy is any sort of form or fashion just responsible for identifying some of the talent that has been on that roster, I mean, Jodo is a big influence. Was Wicadia from that project?
He was on that roster, played some with the roster that Trojan played on, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know if, like, it was scouted that way, but...
Yeah, I mean, either way, it's just been... Like, they've had some big names come through that project, and a lot of proofs of concept. So, I mean, good pickup there. I imagine he has some depth. And right now, the tactic of running it down B as fast as possible, taking that space as fast as possible, as they claim control of CT spawn and find all the kills to back it up. It is full steam ahead for Lag on the T side. Pistol and 2-0, maybe a little bit too much steam as they start to get a little bit red in the face, looking to isolate these duels. Into had the right idea. He just couldn't quite clear it. So deep into that cubby, it is deceptive.
You know, talking of a guy that's missing here in Laxi and what he brings to this Akimbo roster, he's like absolutely the star rifler for this Akimbo team. That being said, Neo, his step up between last season where they lost Advanced in the finals to Legacy, and this season where he was the highest rated player in their victory run, it's been insane. Like, I mean, he was good before, but he's been insane here recently. And that's a little bit of that showing, not just on the op, but on the pistols like that. Picks up a deagle, puts Experative in the ground.
Such little investment into this round as well, just any kill matters. Not a lot being really brought in. That's an excellent recovery, though, from Trojan, who just remains patient. Going to collect a couple of quick ones. And 2-0, another chance for you. Some decent timing here. Goes for the second kill. Won't be able to find it. Tough fight for him. The man with the mic. We're not sure about its availability, but I tell you what, he sure is bringing the vibes. Guy's always smiling.
That is true. I didn't get to talk to him that much at Frag Chicago, but he was standing behind these guys, and he was always smiling. Having a good time, and unfortunately not that great a time in that round. But things could be different, should be different, considering the investment coming into this round. So I will say, I think a key for me on this Akimbo comeback gonna have to be, you know, get Neo an op sometime here soon.
Towards the A side we go here. Not gonna quite have that AWP just yet, and oh, that's some nasty timing right there. Jumping up, the flashes just connect. I don't know if Mike could even recognize where he was at that point in time,
no.
Right?
It was widescreen.
Nothing to be seen. They're gonna make a quick rotation on in. They have some very fast positioning, and there is nobody in Donut here for a T side. The positioning right now for this T side is gonna be incredibly difficult to hold on. They're just going to look to cut off the cross out of the temple position, but they're lining up. It's just miserable in the post plant. There could be a chance, though. Low HP, no kits. Well, they do pick up a kit eventually, but Akimbo still recovering with the quickness. Find their way through another round and still hold on the bonus.
Yeah, impressive considering the fact that, I mean, they just had nothing offered up on the A bomb site itself. They lose it. I like Lag making that call. You know, for me, on the T side of Ancient, it's like a game of chicken. When are we first going to call that fast A pop? Is it going to be, you know, round 3, first gun around? And it's sort of a perfect time to get there, but you mentioned the lack of donut control, just such an issue for Lag. You can't take donut, then you need to be in Temple, almost certainly. And if you don't have either of those, well then, I guess hope and pray you can crossfire somebody at Big Box and boost it up. Neither of those things happen, and so not a victory. But back out A again. Fast moves being made, and it's 2 instead of just the 1 victory to lead them into the bomb plant.
Some serious difficulties. They once again just slide their way through this A side with an effective execute this time. At least temple control is contained, so it becomes all the more efficient. They're still going to give this a crack here. Corral's trying to make his way out. They don't stick around for too long. I think that's a wise decision. Get 1 extra kill on your fade away here. Now your fade away is being cut off, though, by Nick X, not allowing the passage towards safety. 1 extra kill is so valuable.
Oh, the get out, though. They
1
needed
extra
that.
kill comes through again.
They really needed that gun. So Taggy's the only one who's gonna survive. Gotta give props to Lag for going back to that same well. I think they recognized the issue, the problem that they had run into last round. Realized, hey, the issue wasn't that we went A or that our site take was bad. The issue is we just didn't have the right control. They took that control, and bada bing, bada boom, they've got the round win.
Bada bing, bada boom. See if they keep it up here. I mean, finally a different target, it looks like, for Lag. Set it up on the pistol. They've been really putting pressure on this A side consistently. This time, it looks like just 1-man show out A. They've been conditioning it, and they get the rotates that they're looking for. Look at this. It's a dream. They throw a little bit of early utility, a little flash and flare, some razzle and dazzle into a very open, now B bomb site. That is just conditioning. That's momentum-based calling, rolling off the tongue for Lag, and it should just be a conversion here. They're going to give it a go with some of the USPs, but that's a nasty shot from Weezer to apply some frustration.
Experitive's got him wrapped around his fingers, that's for sure. And it's he who plays caught off control, ensures nothing further can go awry. A little bit of an odd story for Akimbo this round as well, where like Krause and Obi have all invested here. Or Neo has done the same. Mike has left a little bit of money. He was on a USP. I think what's going to happen is that we're going to see them like toss these guns. Mike's going to buy up and try and drop a rifle. Yeah, I think that's what's going to happen now that Obi's found an AK especially.
Taken full control of this second half now for Lag, haven't they? Pulling 1 round off of the other. Getting those rotates, manipulating that defense. Here's going to be a fast B play into a lot of utility damage. Great setup from Krause and Taggy. But the answers back are quick, and look at this, a 2v2. A minute and 30 left on the clock, and we got a 2v2. That's a rush with a full head of steam. Taggy now has to reposition. Forward progress for just a moment slowed down, as now you have a chance to just rework this one. Opportunity to reroute straight into an A bomb site where they will beat Obi on the punch. He goes his move towards middle. Molly for CT. We would like to keep a player in Donut. That's so smart. Trojan thinking about sticking around. There is a flank now. Donut is no longer a safe passage. That quickness coming through from Obi could catch them by surprise. Is he going to get any vision on this play? That's the big question. Here is the distraction rolling through the CT spawn side of things.
What?
It's a quick collection. Experative. He gets himself tucked into the smoke. Taggy gonna go for a reload. They're gonna expect this. Not quite just yet. He can't get into safety. He does. 12 HP. He's going back for the repeat here. Sprays down range, but he can't lock in the kill in the end.
Oh my goodness. I cannot believe that Experative is just sitting there in the smoke, able to get away with that. Honestly, if he played the long game, I don't think Akimbo win it, but, you know, considering Obi didn't even have a kit. But he goes back for that fight, so confident at this point in both the calling, the strategy that has been put together here, and in the duel, in this case. He just doesn't think he can lose, and Obi shows him that that ain't true.
Massive relief there. B-Rush. Okay, they're running it back. Last time it didn't quite work, but if at first you don't succeed, try again. And this time, it's going to be very similar. They need to win out the trades, but it's going to be put to rest there with a quick rotation. And Akimbo will hold down the line. They're not ready to give up on this map just yet. They're still fighting forward. Haven't given over lag map point just yet either. So, Akimbo will be holding on here.
I mean, it's been heavy stacks towards the B site for Akimbo. Like, even when those A-pops went down, obviously an adjustment made, you know, fast moves for them when lag faked towards A and hit B. But every time lag have actually gone to B, Akimbo have had 3+ players there within very fast rotations. So it certainly makes it easy, and good utility to start. It's going to help break lag economically. I think what's cool about this, you know, I had no idea about this Trojan pickup. I didn't, you know, wasn't super familiar with this guy, but like after that Eternal Fire Academy stint that ended mid last year, I don't think he played until last season of Advanced. Or like he jumped in, dropped a 1.3 HLTV on a playoff run after not playing for a couple of seasons.
Drop some serious numbers. I mean, maybe you just never lose your trust in the game. Or lose that instinct. But yeah, see him coming through and showing some efficiency, just not in this round. Won't be here. Won't be now. Quick shutdown rolls on through. Nick X has to transfer the Mac 10 spray with a nice little 90-degree flick. And a bomb plant comes through somehow. Now the question is, can he buy enough time?
Oh.
A second headshot has just hit into knocked out of the round. And it's going to be a Retex that has to come through very delayed.
When do they figure it out?
Too late to the party. He's going to see a side, and he connects a shot, but it's not going to be the killing blow.
And that's so unfortunate for Ray, because I'm going to be honest, I feel like there's a world that we could have been living in where he gets them both. Takes a little bit more time to line them up because neither of them knew. The first shot misses the mark. Just a little panic. Big hold down on the site though for Mike. Double kill with the MP9. That first off angle, quite effective. Put Akimbo up at 9. Like you said, this map ain't over. Akimbo pick into Ancient. Lag no strangers. And showing off why Experative, I think, calling a pretty darn good half of Counter-Strike, but starting to maybe run out of ideas.
Quick headshot. That's an opening here for Akimbo on such a crucial turning point. Walk out towards this A side, leaning on little success in this department. Obi's prepared, but trying to follow up and get a multi is a whole nother story. Again, they can maybe go and try and claim some further control. Intuo steps up, though. He takes a forward angle and finds himself another one before they even get a chance to set themselves up. Round gets ripped away from them. Trojan now left into a impossible task. And good for a single, but that'll be all he manufactures. Akimbo now closing that distance with the quickness.
Yeah, I thought, I said coming into the half that I really wanted to see the op for Neo come out. And I thought that would be a big win condition for an Akimbo comeback, but it has been Neo, but it hasn't been in the opping. It's been the rifling, Crowds delivering in these early picks. Like every time Crowds has been actually pushed at Jaguar and in Cave, he's been good for one or more, and it's not even looked like an issue. Lag consistently not putting multiple players there, and so it's just one kill without response for Lag and for Krause. Look at another tack, and then a half by. Pick up whatever they can afford. That's what I mean. These types of rounds could be in for some sort of punchy play. The utility they've got left, they're looking towards A. Both on the site. Neo comes in for his one. Obi the one on the op, and from Temple side, good for a double. And as we talked about, maintaining that position, maintaining that space, so important for a post plant. And then a 2-on-4, Lag have no other choices but to body up together, trying to play off of one another, but Krause takes no prisoners.
So claustrophobic on the site there. Can't get anything going. And the post plant. I mean, just such a great start to that defense from Obi with a collateral connection. Intuo has been very willing to dive in on these plays and not allow for any sort of late access to take place. And you just see, man, that efficiency, the quickness in these rotations. But also, as we highlighted, Experative started off this half, you know, kind of with some momentum-based calling, taking a look at so many different, you know, territories for success. So many different rooms for growth. And I think when you get that momentum shut down, when one play goes wrong, when the B rush gets shut out, then you lose that momentum, you lose the ability to get that forward calling style. But that's a forward pressure from Trojan. Opens up the round with the quickness.
Sometimes you're just looking for that right spawn, with Trojan got to beat Krause there. And a right guy with the right weapon can be a whole difference maker for Lag, and that's where it is in this round. Taking out a guy who picked up another double kill in the last to help stall them out. Working the 5-on-4 rather than the 4v5 has been something that Lag haven't had the freedom to be doing here lately.
To the site they go with the man advantage. Now they got to close out in a post plant. We'll see if they can do it. They're going to be the ones to claim map point. They hit a wall.
A lot of util, though.
There's quite a bit to use here. Smoke recycled. No, that's just a flashbang, actually. Raytek's out in the wide open, but it's such a massive off angle they can't anticipate. He gets another. He's low. And sure, finished off by the op, but boy, does he hold the line. And takes out a couple belts of utility while he's at it. Nick X with a quick dismissal. Obi and a 1v3. They're going to run him down, and Weeza will check. Lag will finally find 12.
Well, that's why you pick up Ray, because he's a guy you can rely on to give them a look they aren't expecting, aren't anticipating. Like you said, man, just he is out here in Narnia. And it works out so well because, you know, yes, it's a wild angle, not one that Akimbo are ever going to expect to be fighting against, but Lag had all of the other parts of that retake covered off. So there really wasn't risk in playing so much, and that's why Ray's able to get 2. Akimbo pick up the pace.
Oh.
Trojan trying to do what he did last time, but at mid instead of at B, and it doesn't work as intended.
I like that idea. I'm gonna give him another opening duel, give him that back-to-back, but knocked out. And a bit of a tough blow in the early stages. Seem to be too concerning at the moment. Still 4v5, still room to recover, but look at the setup here. That Molly's going to look to disrupt, flashbang to back it up, but yeah, that's such an off angle. Corral's traded eventually, takes a little while. Weeza will claim it though, but that's so much attention and resources, and a back turned into what will claim the kill, but an off angle held, and it looks like a little more required in our opening map. Overtime looming unless Weeza can break this one down. Isolation on the first, yes, but half of his HP at a cost of it. Down to 50. With 3 more targets is not an easy task, and that flank continues to roll on through. Obi will come through with the Desert Eagle. 2 shots required and connected. Akimbo fight for their lives here on this map, and they get it done.
Yeah, I mean, stalled out. And good utility for lag too, by the way. Like on the transition to full take cave side there, they had the right utility, took the right fights, but they had already lost so early, and then Neo comes back in for the flank. It's just so annoying. The guy boosted up right where we just saw, just got killed without any idea, any look. And I'm gonna be honest, I mean, Obi kind of secondary up sometimes, but it feels like in the, you know, with Laxi not here, they're like, okay, Neo, you're the star rifler now. You're going to be the one taking this space, and he's just flourishing in that role. Whilst Obi handles the AWP a little less flashy than maybe Neo would have done it, but it's working just fine.
Oh man, it's a nasty opener from Nick X rather. He just waits. Waits and waits, and then finally cures the reload. Will just ignore the caution of a smoke, and then that's followed up on as well. Aggie playing a bit of a dangerous game, but the smoke still provides a little coverage now.
Yeah, lag unlocked. I think that, you know, we saw their game plan. The whole entire half has been, how do we get our big players into these key positions early round? And, you know, Nick X, one of those big players, getting an early round frag, just catching Kralls off guard. It is everyone here, though, for Akimbo. Experative checks him first. Mike's going to go down through a smoke spam. And Obi's going to have trouble here, but he turns. Oh, my God, Obi, are you kidding me?
It's a huge shot right there. That's such a lifeline. Smokes go down, and the left outside looking in of a smoke that they have to run through. They don't have the health to do this. The rifles have been picked up. They're getting spammed. They're getting peppered, and it's over. They ripped the round away despite being in a 5v3 on the initial stage. It's taken on back. Opie and Taggy have completely dominated.
Bro, what the actual hell was that from Obi?
Oh.
Like, what do you do if you're Weeza? There's just nothing to do. Like, look out of options, looking out of ideas, honestly. Back to Old Faithful, but they've got Obi to deal with over at A. It's going to be an A pop. Neo's there as well. And as soon as that utility goes down, he's going to post back up. Great flashbang. Obi almost times it. He's sticking around and no scopes. Nick X on the entry. Fortunately, a trade. Neo falls. Ray moves in, and a little bit left there for Taggy as he's tagged up by Trojan the first time, but lives long enough to claim a second frag.
Oh, and a nice follow-up there. And another one from Trojan. He's just letting them run right into their open arms. They get super aggressive in the later stages and manage to find a way back in. So a little bit of a taste of Akimbo's own medicine and a big disadvantage.
It's where I think Akimbo can get ahead of themselves sometimes. This is a team that really likes to play at pace, really likes to just, I mean, honestly, shove it down your opponent's throat. That's the idea. They just get in their face and it's so difficult. In that case, I think they let that go a little too far.
Nice start. The HE does a lot more damage than I think they were hoping for as well, but ends up being a fast A play again, trying to end it with momentum. Obi on the line. On the clock here for a defense. Put in a good shift here. Look at the damage that's being done. So much already manufactured. All of a sudden, the trades back and forth, and crucially, the numbers are punched in. Now, can we take any more space? Experative knows what he needs to do here. Goes charging forward with a kill. Trying to get a Molotov off as well. I don't know how much that's going to provide value. If it's going to cover the bomb, there's a chance it could delay long enough. There's a smoke on top of it, though, now. They're going to stick it right in their face. Yeah, I mean, there's no time for this move. And Akimbo gonna rip the round away and take 14.
Another one. I mean, that's 2 out of 3 that Akimbo won, both of which lag in position to win. I would argue that on this round. Absolutely true in the first of that overtime half. That's absolute trust being shown. Mike just sticks on the bomb and you know, I feel like Lag have been having a real hit or miss time over there today. One of the hardest sites to actually win in post plant, to be fair. But that is if you don't have donut control, which they just never can, never have that luxury. A lot of times you'll have a late mid guy to help try and facilitate that, but not in these cases. Akimbo swap back to the T side. A half that they are a little less than stellar on, but Obi already really far up here. And that's what'll happen. Obi gets his. Weezer goes down. It's a quick trade from Ray, but the bomb should be available for a plant, particularly with that smoke.
Claim themselves 2 chances here. Close out. Holding on to these post plants with patience now. And Mike holding down the line on the site. Effective and cuts off an initial cross. Daggy also showing his shoulders though. Has a lot of extra assistance here. Mike will follow it up with another kill. Trojan has to retreat, and Akimbo have given them 2 chances to roll on through here. 2 opportunities now.
From down bad, even up against Mount Point, they bring it back. This is the full-on hunt. There's no reason for Akimbo not to try and take this weapon out of the hands of the CT side. Doesn't matter for this round, but for anything further, you're talking about the final round of this overtime. If Akimbo don't win this one, that's where, you know, they might be hurting. Money may not be available. Lag take the only tactical timeout allotted to them here in overtime. This feels like a spiral to me for Lag. They make a huge early game run perform as they swap onto the T side, but since then I think struggled to close out that half. Obviously further Akimbo making very good moves, now losing advantages even on that CT side. We head into what could be the final round. This could be it, map number 1, if Akimbo can close. It's not Obi, but Neo, who gets bested by Weeza on a secondary op. Trojan, elsewhere, takes out Obi.
There you go, a little bit of life. Not ready to give up on this one just yet for the side of Lag. When the pressure's put on, the going gets tough here. Double ops can just get you through the tough times. There you go, Taggy. Taking a shot in return. Gives up. The next move being made. Now a golden opportunity for Lag to take it the distance again. 16-14. Would be the way that Akimbo would need to win if they can't pull back a 3v5 here. There's a utility. Like just getting that bomb plant down in the heat, in the fire, and sends one packing in the smoke on the edges. There's a double op retake. And you're right, they have done it before. They made it work in a 3v5 once, and a crazy shot connects. It's gonna be Krause that goes forward. Another kill. How did he get it? It's gonna be a 2v2 all of a sudden in an instant. In the fire and the flames. Now, there is a smoke for the Molotov, but sometimes a little delayed there. It's finally gonna go on top. Mike just hoping, praying that he can connect onto the spam. No one on it. A second chance here as they still look to find it here. The Glock is out and it just gets it done. Taggy in the last second. You can see it's a scream of joy for Akimbo as they win map 1 despite all odds.
I mean, everything was up against them there in that final round. 3v5, both of the ops. It's a double AWP, the first of which that we've seen from Lag Invested, and they both get opening duel victories, yet they still come away with it. Obviously, huge moves there from Taggy, late round, 1v1 there at the end, track him down in the smoke, but Krause, dude, this guy is so insane sometimes when you just talk about the it factor that he brings, the 2 kills, even as he's going down, he confirms onto the cave player. And of course, I mean, the fact that Mike's allowed to get a bomb plant, then there's just a little spam through that smoke and he tracks down a headshot onto, I think it was Experative. What a tilter for Lag to lose out. Even though it's their opponent's map pick, that was Lag's to take.
Yeah, I mean, truly incredible right there. What they were able to do. That's nothing but pure resilience. We talked about it heading into this matchup, but sure, their map pick, maybe they were down 11-6, maybe 11-7 into the mix there, and managed to pull it back in such an incredible fashion, piecing up these rounds, and they lose out the opening opportunity. In regulation, there was one shot for Lag to take it. They still hold the line. In overtime, multiple 3v5s converted as well. I felt like so many different rounds could have been shut out by Lag, should have been shut out by Lag. They miss out on those opportunities in a couple occasions. It haunts them into, a closing statement like that. And again, that's just nothing but pure resiliency from the squad.
Yeah, I mean, like I was saying, man, it really looked like after those early rounds, Lag just didn't look like they were ready to close out like in any way. I'm talking from the early round like call, right? The game plan. I'm talking when they had advantages, not able to close it out, and then I'm talking like we didn't see on the late T side there. Like where was the actual like slow default? Like that just never happened. It was all like off spawn, trying to maneuver somebody into a good position, and I like that style of gameplay. I don't think that's inherently a problem, but I think that the issue is once it stopped working, Lag didn't seem to have a second gear to shift into. They didn't know where to go, and they hit their ceiling a little bit. Akimbo taking advantage of that, and like I said, just the it factor that Akimbo has on this team, you can see what it does. 3v5s that should never be possible, won twice over in overtime.
I couldn't agree more, man. It was a couple of different scenarios here. Akimbo heading in with just nothing but mental toughness, getting the job done on this map. I mean, as highlighted, Mike stepping into this role here, getting the call up today, needing to step in for just a match here quickly, and being able to get a big victory, which I think is really promising. And again, this is like, there's no second chances, so you obviously want to survive. You want to be able to fight forward. You want to give a little bit more room to fight. Maybe you can get your full roster in the future, but for now it just looks like they're hanging in there with the pieces that they've got, and they're managing to find ways to win.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll be honest, my worry about Mirage, I think a little bit alleviated when Neo was coming into this, and he didn't, you know, he wasn't opping. He was taking those star rifle rolls and making it look really good whilst doing so. So, all of that leading into Mirage, it is Lag's map pick, so certainly something for them to kind of probably be looking a little bit better on, though. The issue for me isn't that Lag looked bad there. It's that they couldn't figure out a way to close. I don't think that changes on Mirage for me personally, but we'll have to see. All of that is coming up. We got a quick break, and then we'll get that Mirage map underway. We'll see you then.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events. At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Skin Place launching an event with a total prize pool of $10,000 in honor of our first anniversary. Just sell skins, claim daily bonuses, complete missions, visit the shop, and participate in the main giveaway with popular skins and a powerful PC. Follow our social media to not miss.
Are you sick of just opening cases? Join the events! At each event, you can find special cases from which tokens fall. Tokens are your ticket into a world of unique awards. For tokens, you can buy a skin, premium, or special balance. Try your luck in the skin generator. Also, you can leave your tokens at the token vault, and the more tokens you keep, the better skin you'll get. Add variety to opening cases with Hellcase.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Skin Place launching an event with a total prize pool of $10,000 in honor of our first anniversary. Just sell skins, claim daily bonuses, complete missions, visit the shop, and participate in the main giveaway with popular skins and a powerful PC. Follow our social media to not miss.
And welcome back, everybody. We're hopping on into map number 2 after a pretty tough loss for Lag. A bit of a mental wall that they hit in map point that they had in regulation, losing in overtime from that point forward. It's going to be a tough recovery effort for them, but at least they get to look forward to greener pastures. They're hopping on into Mirage. They're leaning and trusting in what is going to be a map pick that you can, certainly believe in for this squad. And we've highlighted some potential issues for Akimbo when we talk about like key roles and positions. It didn't look like it was too much of a problem for them though in that last map, it seems.
Yeah, it really didn't. I mean, it kind of blows my mind how much it wasn't an issue. I was super surprised to see how well they did that. As we jump into Mirage, I think the biggest difficulty for me in my expectations of Lag and for Mirage is not that they lost Ancient, it's just how they lost Ancient. 2 out of the last 3 rounds they're in overtime, they lose when they have a 5-on-3 advantage. That's the one that is problematic. That's the one where I look back at that and I'm like, uh-oh, this is not good for Lag.
Start to feel like maybe they've got some things to work through here in their own right. And as you highlighted, like new coach, you'd like to see some of that efficiency come out, but definitely hit a wall when it comes down to closing out the game.
It's still early days though. I mean, only been a week or 2 maybe with Trojan, and then slightly more time with the new coach, slightly less time with Trojan. Oh my goodness, this has worked so well. Just a little contact over towards A. Helps pull the rotations a little bit. Mike goes down, but it gets complicated when Neo comes back in. Obi removed only temporarily from the catwalk side, and yikes for Weeza. I don't know if you noticed, Cole, but Experitive's camera froze like very early in the last game, and he had this like smirk the whole time.
I did see it. I just looked back and I saw he was in the exact same position. He doesn't move a lot when he plays the game. Pretty stationary player.
Yeah, it took me like a couple of looks at it to realize it was frozen. I was like, wait a second, something's not right.
He's still busy, that still. Quite. You see pistol though from Akimbo, and I get to start off successful playing into this matchup. Sure they're going to be happy about that. Some early success. We get the forced buy though, of course, in response. Holding on through. Execution's quick. I was hoping for some spam here, and Flashbangs towards CT. There's just no smoke, so they got to use their firepower to crack on through. Flashbangs continue to be avoided, but there you go. Secondary bit of utility from Experative, and 2 quick entries roll on through because of it. That's a great protocol.
Yeah, just immediate kills. Lag needed the like one bullet headshots for those to really work out. Obi goes down, and now this round might be over. Krause and Mike gonna work their way back in. Krause is deep, but this is a near unbreakable crossfire. At least it should be. Hold on, Krause has moved in the right way to make it near impossible. Mike's just gotta cover the one guy up towards the Palace side. Nick Gex gets his. Krause might be doing it all alone. One chance there, gonna stick on the defuse. Or not. Has the kit, but doesn't have the frag. Krause nearly did that on his own.
An incredible go there, but too much loss in the early stages. When they take that CT spawn control, they don't give up on the play. And you gotta respect that out of this lag squad. When they run into that early resistance, it could have been easy to call it off, switch up the approach, change the vision, but they just keep on identifying what they need to win the round with those pistols with the lesser weaponry.
It's an issue that they ran into on Ancient, where they didn't have the right, late round positioning on A site to win some of those rounds that they got the bomb down on. It's the opposite right there for them. Helps when Nick X is hitting some stunners on the Deagle from Palace as your backup plan.
Something will hurt now up against the force by again. Even more efficiency on the execution. Gonna coast their way to the end of this force by wars with maybe some even extra damage being done. Yeah, they stick around and everyone falls on the side of CTs. It's a bit of a tough way to go out there. Obviously not a lot given. They have a very successful start out of the gates.
Looking to get that win, maiden victory with Trojan on the server. It's been a couple of Mirages. I mean, of those games since Trojan's joined. Okay, Neo. All right. It's been tough because it's been 6 losses in a row. But I mentioned to good oppositions. What I didn't mention is that 5 out of 6 of those games, Cole, have been in overtime.
Make it close. There's another Eagle from Neo though. Backing it up with a double. Able to find some success here on a lesser weaponry buy. Not all that bad. Come on through into this one. Eventually the Mac kills will start to sting, but there's another kill from Mike now. For 1v2. Neo here unavailable, putting a scare on. But not showing any fear is lag. They will continue to test the waters. Make their way into a quick, well, I was gonna say quick A play, but
yeah, they left the bomb. Can't forget that.
But they'll get the job done anyways.
Yeah, but when you talk about the impact of some of those kills, it makes up for Akimbo not getting anything done on their actual force buy. Keep them honest. It's an early Neo CT side op, and it isn't one backed up with any armor. I think that Lag looking to try and exploit some of that high-paced calling that we were seeing. Obi loses out. Neo gets there in time, but neither of the B players are good for anything here in defense.
We've highlighted what they were able to do very successfully. Let's, call off the back of momentum. When they're finding ways to win, they are able to consistently string that together, and I think we're seeing some of that same calling right now with how quickly these plays are. We talked about maybe the lack of defaults that we did see, and that eventually became a problem, but and continue to utilize that momentum to their favor. Not lose any of that steam that they did on Ancient.
Potentially
some of the bigger problems.
Potentially worried that Lag might be trying to see if they can exploit. They might see as a little bit of a weak link in the B site, and I think that's actually really hard to do on Ancient. Like, just as conceptually, you know, there's just so many players at B most of the time. You know, like, you're often going to have 3 players there. You can play off of one another really effectively. Whereas on Mirage, I think you need a lot more. You need to individually be a lot more responsible for your area of the map.
Absolutely. I mean, I think they even tried to do it, you know, with a couple of B rushes, but also same towards A in the early stages of the half. Like, it just seemed like they found an opportunity to try and pressure on a weak point. They had a little bit of early success, but they struggled to consistently get away with it.
And to
like
close
you said,
it.
maybe they can find some different ways to win. Oh, Mirage, it's a nice opener, man. Anticipating the boost, ready for it.
Especially in round 5 to be ready for it like that. First time that Akimbo have given it a try and they get swacked down. That's a telltale sign that something is happening towards one of these extremities. And the A site is going to be where it's going. Akimbo, their response is so fast. Look at how deep Neo is in mid. He's full clearing it, but this is suggesting to them that it's going to be B. Instead, it's A as the smokes go down right side. Nobody home. Obi's got to return, but he might be too late.
See if that's the case. Quick entry. Time for a bomb plant, but not the coverage for it. Tag, he just swings and knows that he can make the play. And 2-0 will back it up. Neo, rather. And Neo chasing down the final kill. Trojan fumbling with the AWP, just trying to save. But that's the big question. Jumping over the scope and a high angle from Neo. Flying through, dodging the bullets. It's going to be Akimbo answering back on a late play towards A.
The fact that Akimbo had so much map control chose wrong. They rotated 2 players towards the B bomb site. Obi was in CT spawn. I mean, he was outside of murder hole. Like, he was so far removed when he heard the smoke start popping. Lag had no idea how empty that A bomb site was, but Obi gets back just in time to play delay. And like you said, the fact that Taggy is so confident in that swing is incredible. Interesting that, you know, to throw top mid here, not look towards window. Just a little bit of resistance posted for Lag, and now they head back towards A. Initial shots missed by Taggy. Gonna have Neo into position, and he's so fast. Jumping up, though, may have been a mistake. Trojan gets a bunch of shots off, able to connect onto 2. But they're both stacked up here. Experative and Trojan. They're cutting down these numbers very effectively.
So many advantages right now in terms of the HP and sliding on out in a reposition. Experative recovers the bomb just to be dropped as quick as he picks it up. Trojan, though, needs an ace. Was he just collect on the Mike, who goes for the swing?
Dude, Obi is a madman.
There's a lot of time here, and he takes the right idea on the line. Any pixel C, and there's the vision. He goes for the very slim pickings. Pixel peek. And a smoke. It's going to provide a little relief here, potentially. He's elevated his angle, though, and a big pick up right there from Trojan. He gets the early vision. He goes for the swing. He had no room for error, and he connects as quick as can be.
Yeah, I mean, that's just able to play off of your teammate. Essentially, Trojan playing the trade man for every single fight there on the A bomb site. Akimbo, I mentioned it before, they sometimes get a little bit too active, sometimes get ahead of themselves in taking these fights. Once they get into position where they won the round already, they start to lose sight that it may not be aggression that they need to be pushing into. And they let Trojan handle them one by one. Really well played, though, by Turkish Opera, man. Love to see that.
especially when needed here to lift up lag on this T side, give him more to work with here. Bit of a missed Altov, maybe expecting that to be clear. They just swing out, not expecting Taggy at all. He gets away with a nice one, but traded out quickly, and they take space towards A either way. They will be able to dominate in this control again. You know, being able to win on a couple sides of the map now at this point, it's a huge refresh.
It's about to be a reset for Akimbo. Mike and Kral is going to try and give this one a go. 2v4 again. Repeat of that attempt previously. But the time has already expired. Exit fracture, the only thing available. I mean, a lot of that is going to be working out, actually. Kralls takes a ton of damage. Is he going to get away? I think so. No. And neither does Mike. So it is that full reset, essentially. 2 rounds lost on the trot. Akimbo will be back to rations, unfortunately.
One thing they've had firmly in their favor here is full control over the economy. Pretty consistently in this matchup. Akimbo constantly left onto lacking purchases. Remain true here. Back towards another hefty A-side setup. Back into an off-spawn caller here, it seems, from lag. Not having to get too fancy, but still setting their targets clear. Wanting to test this A-bomb site over and over again. Taggy. What? Into the molly right there, jumping up there. Nick X will find it. That is ridiculous. An unreasonable entry. And the round just going to be converted off the back of that. Too much space conceded. Neil will offer up a Teagle shot back in return at least, as some silver linings. Another kill coming through from Obi. You can't jump the gun too much, but as they take care of your response, back down to reality we go.
Nick Axe having a crazy opening to this map, too. 14-4. Then you got Trojan. 1v1 there to ace clutch up. Where it was Akimbo that really couldn't lose some of those rounds on Ancient. Now Lag are feeling the same thing. Got everybody going gangbusters right now. I said what my expectations of Akimbo are. I think that they can do a lot on their T side. It's certainly possible, but they need a little bit of wiggle room. They can't afford to lose too many more rounds on the CT side.
Yeah, I mean, so far the simplification here as well for the side of Lag, just getting away with some pretty off-spawn calls. They don't even have to default all that much. They just, make a quick motion. If they want to head, execute with some conviction behind it, a little bit of steam, some good utility, and
here's the fake.
Able to get a lot of damage off of it.
Not biting, though. Nobody's biting on this. You still got both Obi and Mike posted on B. No moves. Mike traded out. Obi's still alive. Kraus working a very fast flank, and Obi can still be deadly. Steps into fire, but able to sidestep away from danger, and into the crosshairs runs Trojan.
More resistance than they bargained for. Nia will find another one with that AWP. It's Ratex left with having to keep his head on a swivel, and Akimbo will reach for another round. Managed to collect. Big way. Needed some extra grace right there. They find it on a great B-side defense. We've seen something similar from Lag in the past as well, to condition a lot of those A-side plays in a row on Ancient. Then they throw a late fake, and that's what I mean by momentum-based calling. When you're able to get away with wins like that, it can become all the more easy to manipulate that defense, but this time it's a task too tall.
I'm really
not gonna fall for it again.
Yeah, I'm loving that Akimbo didn't bite. I mean, after 4 or 5 A plays in a row, it's so easy just to try and cheat over, especially if you're a B player like Mike, who's like, dude, stop giving me a 2-on-4 or whatever. Let me play the game. Just to not move at all in that stance is good to see. See the same two smokes, different location that they're being tossed from. Molotov in response, though, from the CT side. And full mid-control had, so this is a fast response over to A. Kral's didn't realize that he was sticking out, but Taggy with 3 from default.
So much more you could ever ask for one man, and Taggy will even cap it off with a closing statement. And an excellent finish. Rolling on through. Akimbo have an opportunity to punch back in a big way now.
Yeah, double up in rounds that we've not seen from Akimbo since their pistol win. It'll certainly help that lag are on basically nothing sort of purchases. They've got 1 rifle, 2 SMGs, and a couple of pistols. Dude, what a loud rotation. Carl sprints out of window, goes all the way to B.
Secret about that one. It does also kind of set up maybe into O, or rather Neo, for success. Covering from jungle. Hoping. Maybe an angle on catwalk, but this the smoke fades. So will he. Splitting his attention between jungle and the A side becomes a bit vulnerable. Experta won't find another one long range anymore. Another test there. Kral's will put it down. Nothing rolling through really much out of a defense for Mike. He gets shot out. Daggy. The stop shot provides him a little extra life, but he misses or connects on the second chance. Weasel will at least thread an extra kill, and it's all going to be on the shoulders of Kral's, who made that loud rotation, who made the big reposition. And I imagine set the target towards that A side very clearly. Not given any fights though right now. Eventually a chance to isolate Ratex. We'll trade it though, and 8 is found as lag cap off the half here. With 1 extra.
Yeah, 1 out of nowhere, really. I think that Kral's just kind of big mistakes into that early round. Just giving it so clear that he is leaving window. And yeah, sure, doesn't realize how deep they are. You know, 3 players walking up underpass. No audio cues given away on the lag side of things, but got to be a little bit more cognizant of those possibilities, I think. Leaves Neo on an island. And as you mentioned, sight set onto the A site from that point onward. Another pistol round would add to this very nicely, though, for Akimbo. A lot of trust put into Weeza, who's on dualies. Struggle here in the early game for him.
Continue. Quick kill like that here, but is going to be recovered by some of the other individuals. Mike will still fight his way through, and a quick rotation in. Is he yet to plant the bomb? Now they're going to figure out a way to lock in those digits after a little delay.
Oh, yuck. Drive-by. Trying to isolate duels. Impossible, though, as Experative falls. All up to Ray. The other pair of dualies in his hands, and just really well handled for Akimbo. Allowing a double swing, but that time not so much. Untouched, though, is Obi. Who's able to take the better of the 1v1.
you go. That's old pistols closed out by Akimbo. Didn't mean a lot in that first half. They got answered back fairly swiftly, but did mean a little bit more in the second. Can they pull off another second half comeback? Just like they did it in that last go around.
Like I said, T-side for Akimbo, that just is something that I believe in. Other things I believe in. Neo, that fight from Catwalk. We're going to see that a lot this half, Cole. Where Neo is just going to be walking up, rifle, op, whatever it is. If Akimbo are getting any sort of mid-control, that's a fight he'll be taking and winning very often. I think trying to find a way to dissuade that, to stop that from happening, crucial for lag. Whether they know it yet or not.
Just get to engulf these freakos. Neo gonna gain some more confidence, as you highlighted, on a player that you really want on this T side to be lifting off, to be winning duels in a consistent fashion. Running a lot of resistance and just closing it off as well with a cheeky off angle. Displays a little bit of patience. Akimbo, 2 rounds now to close out that distance, and not a lot of ground being gained just yet for a CT side. We'll see them finally lift off in a gun round here, though, on the side of lag.
It's a very nice amount of utility for what is this round. You go for a full eco on round 2 on the CT side. A lot of times you're working, like, basically nothing. But they've got all the smokes, even a couple of Molotovs. First and foremost, going to look towards mid. 3 players strong in that direction, and it's going to be Akimbo that looked that way. Though not before Neo, which just walks out A. Spotted out on the second player in CT. He's going to look to try and put Experative down, but he's got support, fortunately for him.
Just creates so much distraction, though, for his teammates to succeed now towards the middle. And when your teammate gets 2 entries out A, the job for some of the players elsewhere become infinitely more difficult. Leaves a lot of panic setting in now. And on the first gun round, Akimbo looking to dominate. One closing statement needs to be found. Obi's low on HP though, so he might not be the one to do it. Experative will hold on for his life for now, but I guess the hunt can just come through very shortly after as well.
You know, I was interested when I first saw this pickup, Trojan to lag. If Experative had any previous experience with this guy or anything, but apparently not. Apparently they met for the first time at Froggy-Cago a few weeks ago, so crazy scenario. And I tell you what, I'm not usually talking about Akimbo and their strap book, but what a fun call that was from Akimbo's first gun round. Just let Neo cook out A. And if he does what he does best, which is just get those kills, then we saw what it does. It opens up mid wide open. The B site left unguarded because rotation's called in from that position towards A. It works beautifully. But so does that. Nick X puts one down. There's even more to be done. Obi's calling in some reinforcements. It's a flashbang. A little bit ahead of it. Could have been 2, and it might still be that. Fortunately, we'll clean up, though. That's a lot of damage done.
It is, but what also is very quickly going to be realized from this lag squad is that the game's all tied up. As you've highlighted, some good calls being brought out, I think, so far for Akimbo that you can lean on. You've shown some flash ability to fire up here on an opening round, while OP shows what he can make happen at just the same. My god, what a quick entry, and it's just the same start. I was gonna say, do you have the depth? Do you have the ability to consistently bring these effective calls out, these opening plays, these little duels that can get you started well? No smokes middle. It's nothing but firepower being sent that way.
Why do they ever have Neo opping when you got Obi as well, and Neo doing this with rifles? Like,
it's good to have options.
Yeah, like what the hell? I mean, I think I was fair in saying that Laxey's a big part of their mid control. Like, he's huge.
Without question.
But like, when you can do this, I just don't know.
So it just feels like they've got a million different options to win around at this point. Just keep on being able to call upon new people and new places. There goes a gun round vanishing into the atmosphere.
I think Weeza's on more op kills than rifle kills this map. I mean, that's just an issue. I also hate to be that guy to say it, but I don't know how Weeza is the guy that stays on lag with all these roster changes.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like partially some of those roster changes as well, though, are they're not like lag actively making these moves. Like, sometimes I feel like they get poached by bigger opportunities, and that kind of hurts.
I don't think so. I mean, Based had to move away from... he had IRL stuff.
OG Wizard?
So I mean, OG Wizard, I think that lag made that move. I mean, I'm speculating, but from what I've read, and I looked into it a lot earlier today, it seems like that was a move, like, actively being made by lag. They had said they were looking to potentially make additional changes at Chicago. That was right after picking up Ray, who wasn't at Chicago, but I don't know. It's just not... It's been okay sometimes. That more aggressive stance that Weeza's willing to take is good in a lot of these T-side situations. But when it's not working, it's really not working.
You find yourself in a hole you struggle to dig out of. Yeah, it is difficulty. I think more than anything, it looks like lag just want to find some stability in this map and in this series and in leads. They've struggled to finish so far. Their second half comeback made to look easy. It's a lead now for Akimbo in a 3v3. Ocean made onto the bomb carrier, but Neo has a timing and Weeza not expecting. As Neo finds a 3K on injury. It's a lot about his reposition. A bit awkward there for Taggy.
Oh.
How does he win it? How does he win that dual experative? Gives it a go and nearly finds the kill. Taggy gonna go for a big swing. That's gonna really disrupt what is a clutch for Mike. You put the stand in this situation here.
Mike hasn't been required the whole half, though. He wins this round. That's such a huge victory. Doesn't even have to actually fight Nick X. Obviously doesn't know where he's located. Oh my goodness, Nick X turns at the worst time, but a missed shot for Mike is a rough one. His hands on head.
Oh.
Give Nick X the 1v3.
I just hate that for him, right? A little bit out of practice, misses a shot on the flank, right? That's when you can expect from a player that's seasoned, that is well warmed up into the matchup, but we've, highlighted it here, and this stand-in is, I think what you had mentioned, I haven't played Counter-Strike in quite some time, so you can tell, like, he just wanted to win that round so bad for the squad, make it easier to close this map, but expectations were put on to, unfortunately, couldn't quite close it out.
Yeah, but that's a huge round. Nick X has been so good for this team, Lag, though. Talking about some struggles, Nick X has been their rock in a lot of ways.
Yeah, he's the stability I was kind of highlighting that they would like to lean on, right? That guy, when you do miss a couple of key pieces, when the roster's changing and shifting up, it's one thing that stays the same is this guy just keeps on performing and I think really improving.
Me too. I think over the last, just even Last couple of different teams I'd seen from him beforehand. That's been the case. This time Mike gonna get a chance to punch in the numbers, and a complicated scenario over at the A bomb site. There's a lot of control in Connector right now for Akimbo. That's problematic if Lag want a chance at this retake.
Timer sticking against him. His clutch opportunity could just lead to instant reaction, quick success on the return. This is going to be a late play from Nick X, though. He could actually do a lot. He already is able to surprise on the one. Obi a little labored on the spray. It sets up the positioning, though. Now it's just a clutch for Taggy. Time is ticking, though, and no one's on the bomb. Taggy lands a quick one, but there's not enough time. Retreat and a death for Ratex with the AWP that will not be held on to, will not be saved. And it's a quick bounce back for Akimbo off a frustrating missed opportunity. They answer back with quickness.
Yeah, I mean, you can see the economy of Akimbo. It's not like it's weathered this storm particularly well. They've had some rounds that have come down to the wire, in addition to some of those more dominant ones. And Lag with complex money issues right now. $5,000 on 2 players, but Experative, Trojan, and Weeza all with less than stellar credit cards. There's a balance on those things. So much that Lag have taken a double tack.
Apparently you have to pay those back.
Apparently, I thought it was just one of those money glitches they talk about on TikTok.
That's news to me.
Oh, so I wasn't alone.
Yeah. That's
Yeah,
gonna
and
be
get this.
Hearcast and CCT.
They charge you if you don't pay it back.
That's something called interest. I'm not interested in that.
Not me. Count me out. Can I opt out? I'll sign whatever. I like this from Lag. It's buy what you can to make this a really competitive round potentially, but not overspend. That might have been an overstep. Nick X, guy we've been talking up a lot for good reason, just loses out, and this mid-fight again and again so dominant for Akimbo.
Good movement from Weasley. Does find a little success here. Mike handles some A pressure here, just patiently defaulting. And manages to find the way through. There's a late timing as well for likes of Prowls to shut things down and don't have any trouble. They just wait and wait and wait. And the pressure, you know, comes through. The aggression will eventually follow up, and Akimbo just holding on a single lost round so far.
It's not been great for Lag in this season of CCT, man. First series, I think they made playoffs, but all those changes in the second series, out 1-3 in the Swiss. Get an invite here. Don't want to go out in this fashion in the round of 16. And Trojan hoping to make that a little bit less likely. Taking down a big guy, Neo. One to fall for Akimbo, but Taggy, oh, it should have been free. It should have been there, but Weeza will be able to right the ship. Steady hands.
And they have massive advantage. Try to slow the roll of Akimbo. Weeza deep in towards apartments, though. I'll hold on to this advantage for as long as possible. And it's going to eventually fall off. A smart decision in the end. Sets up in a boost that you'd imagine is going to go uncleared in the panic of a 3v5. Nick X can provide any resilience, any resistance. His job going to become all the more difficult. Good flashes, but yeah, that's what he's looking for. His teammate does go down. He's low.
I don't know that they know where he died from.
So it doesn't seem like Mike had registered it at all, yeah. Obi only finds one more anyways. And Lag fight back. They're not ready to call this one out just yet on the series and in playoffs here as well.
And that'll be the A1S advantage. Not a big advantage the A1S gets here these days, to be honest. We gotta take advantage of the ones that we're doing. Last time out, it was Lag on a double timeout, trying to figure out the money situation. Now Akimbo take one of their own in similar fashion. But where have I seen this before? I see 3 rifles and probably going to be a couple of pistols. Or Taggy gets a rifle too. That was on the ground somewhere, I guess.
Way to a little something here or there. Completely out of it. But it is not going to be easy to make this work with the little missing pieces, the missing bits and bobs that they have. See what they can do though. See if they have any more of those opening moves that we've seen throughout the half. As they do just fly out middle. That's been their bread and butter. As you highlighted, missing Laxi. Obi's been able to fill the, aggressive positioning just nicely. Neo, just the same.
Speaking of aggression, though, in the rifling department, Ray, one of those exciting pickups for Lag, doing a little bit of that immediate nade into top con smoke just to come into display. Nick X does such a good job. Doesn't give away his position, but still doesn't get the better of that trade. Wait, there's a big gap. It's been missed. Top Balk player and Experative doesn't see this coming. But it still might not be the end of things here for Lag. Taggy traded. Bomb going B. And Mike going to be here to sell the fake, I guess? It might be perfect. Experative might walk into him.
The flashbang, oh my god. He did. But I think the flash actually still connected, and Krau's now set up into a 1v3. A bit of a window. Plant the bomb. I think he's going to go for a market plant. Not quite fully. Still safe. Managing to anything work here would be a tough ask. Hoping for an isolated duel. That Marcus smoke is deep. It's going to really provide some chaos now. Krau's expecting them to respect it. I don't know if they're going to, as the catwalk move already being made. He's caught in the open, a lot of damage taken, and the op will be what finishes off the job. Lag will answer back, and we go the distance once again.
So many wrong moves for Trojan to make there when that market smoke comes down. And I think he deserves a lot of credit for not making any of those wrong moves. Plays it slow, respectful of the smoke, whilst also still making his way in and able to play off of his teammates on Cat. Like all of that looks good. Bomb plant, that'll help. But Akimbo, it's not a good situation that they're in. I think we're going to see overtime again if Akimbo want to close this in two, because they have to save. This, I mean, a force buy here would be an incredibly aggressive move. They're actually going to put the hero rifle into Neo's hands.
Do it again. Could they claim map point regulation first? Neo's rifle, though, still could do enough. That's a quick kill. It had to be as fast as that, otherwise the possibility of a trade. Repeak is successful, right, Tex? Not falling away from these duels. There's that rifle knocked out. More peaks rolling in. Smoke eventually demanded a little bit of respect. But left to rattled now is Akimbo.
Grab the smoke. Get the AK onto Krause, the other guy with a little bit of Kevlar. I hate to say it, but 3 on 5 shouldn't be an issue with the armor, the weaponry. But this A side, it's potentially a little bit exploitable. Experative is isolated, but there's no way that he's ever going to get checked up there. But they might get a bomb plant. Especially with this contact maneuver.
Single kill, Kraz. I think a bomb plant could be nice. Not going to happen, though. Not afforded the opportunity. There we will have another chance now to take it into overtime if you're on the side of Akimbo. Another opportunity to redeem yourself from that bit of a disappointing ancient that you showed there earlier for lag, and take it into a third map right here. I don't think you want to play this team in overtime again after what they showed they could do.
No. I certainly wouldn't. Big resurgence right now from Weeza, having a much better close to this half for lag. Starting to look better. 4 AKs, 1 SMG for Akimbo. And Weeza moving forward. This is so tough to check. And that's just a little bit of an overstep that Weeza makes.
Statement. Weeza going down in another opening advantage. They have been so consistent on closing these out. Gonna look to do it again, and there's the follow-up. Oh my god.
It's a move that Ray's made so many times this half. It's finally been right into. But there's still 2 here at A. 2 that I don't know that Akimbo are going to be anticipating.
Be a big surprise. They're still diligent about setting the utility up, though. And now Nick X has a tough job at hand. There's that first strike. Trojan with more opportunities to fire up, and there's both players identified. And it's going to be Neo that looks to find the kills. 15 seconds, there's time to work with. That Experative still holds the line, and no HP for Neo. Enough has been done, and what a way to close out a 5v3 victory for lag. Despite all odds to close it out, giving Akimbo a taste of their own medicine from what they did on their map pick. They will be able to finish in a similar fashion.
Feels so fitting. Looks absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, big recovery from lag. I mean, I think Akimbo showing what they could do on the T side pretty consistently here. The big difference maker, obviously Nick X, consistently finding success. He had that massive clutch, obviously 1v3 that ended in pain for Mike, but it was the start there that Nick X kind of put together first and foremost. Beyond all of that, though, you gotta appreciate how consistently lag were able to turtle up towards the A site. Their response to mid pressure was really not ever even seen that much by Akimbo, because their late hits, they usually like won the round at mid, and they late hit B very often. So they hadn't seen where lag were at on the A site very consistently.
Yeah, I mean, just so efficient right there in the positioning. Finally, something goes their way. They get aggressive all over the map, and it was looking like a Akimbo classic finish. Punishing aggression, punishing plays being made, but this time no player to work out that A main side. Nobody being able to handle that pressure, and again, it's just a really good sign that lag are able to show that they can win a couple of difficult rounds to dig deep. And again, that loss in overtime, it could have been just a quick elimination for them, man. You know, out 0-2 in a very close fashion, sure, but that would have been the story here in CCT, is that they were a first round elimination.
Well, and I mean, it would be another consistent factor, right? Losses in all of their games here, the last 6 since Trojans joined, it's been, you know, all losses. A lot of those close, a lot of those in overtime, but finally breaking that curse open, getting on the board up against an Akimbo team that really was playing incredibly well. You had all pretty much everybody firing on all cylinders here, which feels like a requirement, you know, for Akimbo to win this series. Lag had Trojan, had Nick X, so showing some consistency that we were talking about, really highlighting what he's been providing, and I think Trojan showing off what he can do on a more op-heavy map like Mirage is huge for Lag.
It is absolutely massive. Great way to close things off. Lag going to be taking it into a third map. We're going to be deciding this thing on Anubis, of course. That's going to be after a quick little break. Guys, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Tired of boring case openings? Do you always get only cheap skins? The Hellcase website has tons of options to upgrade your inventory. It's up to you to participate in giveaways, events, or compete with other players in opening cases. Hellcase, your world of expensive skins.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Skin Place launching an event with a total prize pool of $10,000 in honor of our first anniversary. Just sell skins, claim daily bonuses, complete missions, visit the shop, and participate in the main giveaway with popular skins and a powerful PC. Follow our social media to not miss.
Tired of boring case openings? Do you always get only cheap skins? The Hellcase website has tons of options to upgrade your inventory. It's up to you to participate in giveaways, events, or compete with other players in opening cases. Hellcase, your world of expensive skins.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try Skin Place. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom! Instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. Skin Place.
Skin Place launching an event with a total prize pool of $10,000 in honor of our first anniversary. Just sell skins, claim daily bonuses, complete missions, visit the shop, and participate in the main giveaway with popular skins and a powerful PC. Follow our social media to not miss.
Well, it looks like it's going to take all three maps here tonight to get a winner. Lag and Akimbo making their way through and, doing a little trading here map pick-wise. Mirage, though, very close, even despite that fact. I think that, for me, as we look towards Anubis, got to be looking at some of those reliable pieces that we were talking about. Nick X, talking about Ray, seeing some more of a continuation of what we saw in Mirage. Got to be the #1 priority here.
Yeah, I mean, it is incredible how much resiliency we've seen out of this Akimbo roster. They just keep on fighting. Obi and, on the other side of things, Obi and Neo just fighting back, right? And I think they have increased their performance to kind of pick up some of the slack. Obviously, with Mike standing in, there's a huge hit in terms of the firepower. And, talk about just 2 players that have stepped up to the role nicely.
Yeah, I mean, I said at one point on Mirage, I'm like, why do we even have Neo opping? Like, he's a good opper, very good opper. But apparently Obi has the ability to just, like, step into that role, be just as explosive in some cases. And Neo is absolutely phenomenal on the rifles as well. I mean, I knew that he was a guy, as an AWP player, that had a good rifle to fall back on. But, I mean, it's been a star rifle is the way I've been describing it in the, in the lack of a Laxi right now. Which is crazy. It's something that I didn't anticipate coming into this game for Akimbo. But 2 tight games. I think it's really important to keep in mind. I'm impressed with Akimbo, but they brought it to overtime, and they were required to do that. It was just as close on Mirage. Maybe could have gone either way, but either way, Lag had the advantage in both those cases. So
it did.
Lag take advantage of that on Mirage. If that goes again to Anubis, as we get deeper and deeper into the series, you back Lag more and more.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you. I think in terms of like long-term consistency, we have seen Lag step up and almost miss out on what was map 1 chances to close out the game. Multiple 3v5s gone missing. Whereas in this case here, I think Akimbo and Mirage were finally the ones that were kind of missing in that sense. And I expect a roster like Akimbo right now, with the current state, to be missing in some of those fashions, right? I expect him to lose a couple 3v5s here and there and, kind of get frustrated, kind of get flustered a little bit and try and figure out solutions around that. And so that gives him a big advantage here when we head into Anubis for sure.
It opens up opportunities for NickX to get, a 1v3 that we saw there at the very end. And Anubis, listen, I watched Akimbo play a full best of 5. Watched him play 4 maps in the Advanced Grand Finals where they had a map advantage. Well, their advantage was Anubis, so they didn't have to play it. They played it a couple of times leading up until that point. Both times they've won it. And last season, Akimbo, this core, was actually really strong on Anubis. But I just don't think we've seen that from them this season specifically, whereas for Lag, this is a bit of a home ground map for them. They have a lot of games played. They are strong here, and the consistency with which I think Lag has done well, even up against some of the better teams in the region, is what provides me confidence going into this. What makes me feel like Anubis is going to be a little bit of a different beast. Like, when you talk about the losses that this Lag team has to on this map, like, we're talking more recently, like 2 losses to Legacy, a loss to NRG. Like, those are the last 3 losses on this map. So as we jump into Anubis, I think Lag are looking good. It's looking up for them in the series.
I'm 100% with you. Challenging themselves up against some big names. See how things cap off. See how things close out. CT side start for the side of Lag. That could provide some difficulties here. But again, some serious confidence should be still in their camp.
Gonna close in on a B split here more than likely. So that's going to complicate things. Bomb not dropped, but they're going to have to hit the go button. NickX on the duel and tag. He can't shepherd that bomb out of harm's way. So they have the sight, but they don't have the device.
Isn't that device? Crucially, they'd lose out from that point forward. The quickness. There's going to be Lag starting things off with the just around that. I feel like they've been missing out on a lot of these as well. I think they lost both on Mirage, maybe split the difference on Ancient, but losing out more times than they're winning. And starting off on CT side of Anubis, getting that pistol success early on is going to be nice.
Well, especially when it's NickX on the ace for it.
Whew. There's something nice from Obi.
Can never count Akimbo out with Deagles. I feel like Obi and Neo in particular, who are both already down now, are quite the duo with those hand cannons. A couple more of them to be contended with, though. Tacky and Krause both have one of their own. But a push all the way through B is going to be the net closed in on pretty soon here.
The flank will come through. It's important. MP9 kills. Trojan, you want to give another test for the Deagle? He's just splitting his attention every which way. And there you have it.
So a lot of investment, actually, even with those Deagles. You know what they can provide, but it does mean a little bit less available for this round. It's no utility for Mike. Neo's got just a smoke. Same true for Krause, who's already tossed it into house. But a very, very useful early 2 rounds for Lag. Everything you can get on a start for the CT side of Anubis is going to be a huge win in my book.
Just put the pressure on. Keep them at bay. Try and test the waters here with a quick aggro. Wow, they're making a lot of noise though. They probably thought it was safe and sound when they don't take that initial contact, and Neo just gets away with a quick step out. Oh, it catches even further aggression there. Nicely handled. Neo shutting things down. See what else he can find. Here's Nick X, looks to be the savior. Makes a hero play, but gets handed a quick bullet there to cool him off.
Where to go for Lag now? 2 MP9s. Don't really fancy your chances on the retake, but also not the best of weapons to save. I think it's going to be just that. Save. At least for one. Weeze is sticking around here. Late to the party. Not going to do enough damage. Maybe pick up a rifle. At the very least, make it more expensive. And, I mean, he's done so. Mike's going to die. So he gets $600 extra plus the two bodies dropped. I mean, I'd call that a worthwhile trade, at least of the weaponry, you know, the MP9 specifically.
The Anubis bomb, a bit of a dud, but I tell you what, it's gonna do damage in that sense. Enough to do one right there, collect a kill on Evans. And yeah, it does force a lot of rebuys.
I just feel like this is a map that can really lend itself to Akimbo's playstyle. You know, yeah, you need to be more measured than Mirage, but at the end of the day, this default kind of, if you are comfortable stretching out, letting your individuals take dry fights or duels, then I think you can find a lot of success on Anubis, and that's what Akimbo liked to do. That's what we're seeing here. Just a slow crawl up mid. Great flashbang after a Molotov doesn't quite work as intended. Big double up from Weeza. He's in some trouble, though. All of Akimbo coming to hunt him down, but he's unfazed by it.
Keeping him contained here in this Foes plant. Weeza holds down the spray and catches a Neo. chasing him down. Then I don't know how much Mike can find out of this one, giving it a go in the clutch. But seemed a little overwhelming. And that is exactly what happens. A bit of a hotter start for Weeza on a defense as well, which is nice. That's a big 4K for him on an important round to find consistency.
I mean, and especially for a guy that I was a bit critical of over on Mirage, having a rough go of things in general, I think stepped up towards the end of that map to help Lag take it over the edge. But a huge quad is what it was there from Weeza. And that's the thing, right? Akimbo, I think, have had the individual factors over the course of this series thus far, but that might be changing. Nick X aces the pistol round. Weeza picks up a quad here in that gun round. But Neo swings back out, and he's hitting hard and quick here onto the B-bomb site. Just gonna throw out a lurk smoke and walk around it. Oh, disgusting as Obi makes his own space, and it's just a 1-2 punch that it's hard to beat.
Sol defense holds up steady again. Mike's trying to make work with the Glock and a low HP Trojan that's on the other end. No vision granted just yet. Trojan, they've left him alone on this site, believe it or not. He's holding it down effectively, but still a little nerve-wracking when you leave someone solo with 16 HP. And yeah, he is eventually going to get that extra support. He's just going to come through in a transition, and his focus fully centered on where it needs to be now. Jumping through another beautiful connection. The Glock will hit the floor. Taggy looking to find anything further. Working these angles. Trojan with that AWP. Been a bit of a missing op presence, I feel like, in the server for this squad, but that's a huge step up.
Well, I think that's what changed. Go Ancient to, go Ancient to Mirage. That was the difference. Big difference on their T side, especially, was Trojan's op presence, and yeah, maybe slightly missing on the CT side, but back in business in a big way. I don't think Akimbo have had 5 Glocks one time outside of pistol rounds.
And even that's case I might get a P250 in the mix there or something like that.
I mean, they did a couple times, but I think they had 1 5 Glocks.
Just always pressure on the economy, man. Always pressure on that economy.
This feels like I'm watching old French Counter-Strike right now.
Yeah.
Like, it's that intense.
4 spies.
And I think normally I'd be a little more critical of it, but they get so much value out of it so often. It's hard to even be critical, to be honest with you. Even if it wouldn't be the way I approached it. What do I know? Did you see that they figured out what that bug is caused by?
Did they?
The water
I saw
bug?
a tweet about it. I just saw that "you're the goat" tweet from somebody, and I didn't really look at it.
I also just saw that tweet, but then somebody filled me in.
Nice.
Apparently, it's something involved with when you die in water. The water still, like, the game still thinks that you are a dead body in water into the next round. So once it happens for you in the game, then it's there for the rest of the, I guess, half. Because the game is still...
I think, with the flank, with the MP9 flank for like round 2.
Yep. So yeah, I'm sure that Valve is working on fixing it. That one was such a frustrating one for me. I was like, what am I doing? Well, how am I so loud?
Yeah, I'm just stomping around. You just gotta make sure never to die there, and then you're good, I guess. That's bizarre, though, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see him in when we get that
Super cool
patched.
that somebody figured it out, though.
We got a bunch of nerds in the CS scene that are just willing to do that. I was talking the other day about JoJo in the beta antics that he did, just finding every glitch imaginable, 24-hour streams. Ridiculous. But as you highlighted, never a dull moment, never a dull round with the Akimbo squad. And need a whole lot more out of Trojan. Step up needed, and he's forced to dance around this pillar, not given a secondary target, and he's so desperate for it. But they just wait him out. Patience is a virtue here for the squad. Now, Op recovered. AK tap out of Neo is ridiculous. It's absolutely absurd. He's going to get flanked from heaven. Nick X as he spotted. No, not identified. And dude, the time buying measure from Trojan with that AWP might be enough as Mike is boxed into a corner. What a round in recovery for Nick X and Ratex. But Trojan, man, I got to give him some respect for dancing around those pillars perfectly.
Talk about buying time when that's the only thing you can do. A multi-frag would be like the dream scenario for Trojan somehow, but that's just not realistic. Yet he kept them occupied for ages. So much time bought, purchased up. Yeah, I would have liked to see Mike get the numbers punched in there, to be honest with you. They had the space to do that, but I think saw the potential to win the round, and that's what pulled them away from getting that bomb down. Which, you can definitely respect that. Lag right now have not been able to contest E-Box nearly at all. Anytime they want this space, Akimbo have it.
Yeah, they've had it. And if they want to walk out and they finally do grab it, they have to meet a Trojan AWP that has been comfortable on connections in these kind of tricky close range angles. A lot of elevation changes around E-Box, so you know, Opera has to be quick and ready. And again, not given the map control that they would hope for out of the gates. Gonna lead to a late reposition. You're actually transferring the op over towards that A side. It's the right call. Extra resistance gonna be met.
Have we get Neo back on that big green, see what he can do with it. Cooks up an opener.
Oh my god.
Ray
That's almost a crazy lineup.
Kraus confirms onto the flank. Experative though, I mean, this should be communicated. Yeah, it was. Okay, Kraus saw him. I was like, no way, it doesn't get called. But Trojan's still fighting. Here from heaven, time's starting to become a factor. Trust in Kraus as Mike just plants that bomb. And I love that Kraus is just not swinging. This is great stuff. Have to force him to make a fight, but Trojan, he's fighting. And fighting hard. Back to 1v1, and oh so close for Trojan. But Kraus saves the day with the late lurk up mid.
That is unreal, dude. That play activity rolling on through. Just a brutal pickup right there from Trojan on the dive down and the no scope that connects. But Kraus will make an active move. Didn't know where the reposition was happening, if it was coming through from the insider camera, so gets caught surprised, and Kraus gives a much needed clutch over. More so a clutch denial from a Trojan op that has been hot to start, man. 11-3, still has another op being brought out as well.
Talking about hot to start, I mentioned Nick X on Mirage. I think he was like 14-4 at one point. He's 12-3 now. He's right in the same ballpark as Trojan. And that's why Obi has been nearly uncontested in E-Box. His willingness to just walk through that smoke is insanity.
Oh, and there's more control being gathered from that E-Box position as you highlighted. Big wins. And bodies taken down. Obi and Neo, those two players that I highlighted and talked a little bit about. Shut out. Nick X going to seal the round as well with the late flank here. Kral's being called over, but trades are quick as can be. Thaggy. Gonna give it the old college try. That'll help. That's a crazy pickoff, but Experative to close. Lag. Lock themselves in. Right back on the board again.
7 rounds already, CT side. Job is done. More is bonus, and I don't think they're stopping. I think this is what Lag have required, and what I meant when I said they're heating up into this series. As time goes on, they look to be getting better. Their individuals popping off in a big way. We saw, you know, obviously talking about Trojan and Nick X, but Ray in that last round, he might not be at those numbers, but those 2 kills he picked up win the round on their own almost. Obi and Neo both go down to his hands.
That's a good start there. Neo again with an AK on a scrappy purchase. Manages to make a kill happen. This is why we don't ever complain when we see the heavy investments. Although, quick reaction here. A lot of resistance being met towards middle. Lag. All the force and storm over. Flashbang gonna not connect at all. Jaggy gonna walk right into the shot, and Mike has a Glock.
And Kevlar.
And Kevlar. You got him act in though. So at least gonna be able to field some success. With the firepower, but can he find anything as he's making a lot of noise, and now recycled smokes go through. Just gonna make a dip in towards the beach. Get his toes wet. Identified by Weeza.
It's about to get too chilly for that, you know? Getting into the fall season.
No one likes a soggy sock.
It's true. That's why the sandals are great. Running shoes, not so much. But Lag with 8 rounds on their CT side. I mean, this is... It's hard to think of a better way to be moving forward right now for Lag. Though, a knife into the back, that isn't going to help them. Trojan might have been walking in this pick, but with half HP, he's going to go slow instead. Wait for Akimbo to make the opening move. And a defensive stand that, I mean, it's not bad when you have a team that is as active as Akimbo are. I think that typically you and I talk about the need to be proactive on Anubis. Against Akimbo, maybe not. Maybe not a requirement.
Oh man, what a statement there. Weeza flying forward. There's a lot more ready to go on this resistance. Off shot rattles off from Trojan. They're running into the meat grinder. Growls will look to keep things contained, but Nick X will cap it off with the flank, and Lag are just so proactive and efficient throughout the entire map, it feels like. They're suffocating this offense. And every time you see a little ground being given, it's almost like they set the trap up for Akimbo, saying, hey, you can come middle. And then they just decide to collapse in on them.
Yeah, it's a nasty trap that they set up pretty consistently now. That's the final round. I think a third would be really required for Akimbo. Need to get something going, and like I was saying, with Lag, not even necessary for them to get proactive on the CT side, but they've still been doing it and finding success in that endeavor. That re-clear with utility well set up from Weeza in the last round, a good example of it.
Ooh. Bit of a miscommunication there and a misfire on the play. Obi will claim success because of it. That's a crazy attempt, Nick X. How does he get that second transfer? That is brutal. As soon as you think they got an opportunity, Nick X makes an active move. 16-4 for him. Trojan, the other B-side defender, is 17-5, and they will cap the half off with dominance. And as we said, Lag taking full control in this decider.
Yeah, I mean, this is massive to see. Like, those individual performances, that's the obvious big talking point. That's the conversation point. But I mean, Akimbo missing some moments here. Like, the only way this happens, wonderful spray transfer from Nick X, but a massive whiff from Neo. Like, a huge whiff. Not a lot of those that we've been seeing this series, but this is not the time for those to start moving in. It's not quite the Neo or Obi that we've been seeing all game. Krause with a crazy Ancient performance that isn't quite there. And same for Taggy, where Ancient looked good Mirage the same, but it's just less of that than what we've seen all day.
Close it off with both pistols, the icing on the kick. Make the job easy. Those A executes are so hard to deal with if you don't have the proper resources. Last man to go through the smoke. Any other extra bits of utility tossed in. It's going to be tough fights for Taggy, but he is buying time, staying alive, doing such a good work. He'll even find a second here, but there's where the extra resistance rolls on through. Fast flank formulates into nothing. Obi, nothing gives. And a 1v3 for Mike here. Again, the stand-in needs to step up. Not going to happen there. Ripped away. Lag are looking to close it out, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think there's much of a way to stop this lag train. And like I said, it would have been a devastating end here for lag, where they didn't have a good group stage last time here for CCT North America. Didn't even make playoffs. Now they're invited. And up against Akimbo that, I'm going to be honest, you know, full strength Akimbo, this is a very, very difficult game. And lag having trouble with it even still. It's a confidence builder, especially with a you know, a bunch of compounding losses in ECL these last week or two.
X taking some steam here. Taggy needs to do a lot and does. Multi-kill. They also handled the E-box flank pretty quickly. Site's gonna be claimed. Spiritive locks in numbers here. It's going to be 10 opportunities to close. And we've talked about maybe a mental hurdle that lag needed to overcome in that last map. I don't know if they'll struggle 10 times in a row. Let it go here. Maybe it's not over, but no. The firepower too much to deal with. Trojan will cap it off.
I mean, also just good positioning. You know, lag... They actually paid a lot of respect to Akimbo's attempt there, knowing how deep into this game they are and what, you know, what was on the line. Making sure that they were in the correct positions to play trades, even if it gets complicated. Nick X at the moment cannot do any wrong. Just instantly gets an entry. And it looks close at the end, but that's only because Krause starts to clean up a couple. Gonna go back to A plate.
Smoke out of the gates. Flashbang's gonna be chained up. Visa does take a lot of damage on the early contact, but the trades are as quick as can be. Site claimed. There we have it. On the bomb site. Smokes be recycled. Experative going on the activity right now, and needed a trade there. Taggy still holds the line. A 1v3. Can Nick X do it to close? That's a lot of damage to take on the first fight. He hoped to continue the spray, hoping someone else would walk into the bullet, but Akimbo will fight on a little while longer now.
Yeah, just a missed bit of trade potential there from Trojan. You got lined up for the double kill. I mean, and critically, you get the 1-for-1s on side entry too. That's also important to make this attainable. And so it's just that one little note missed by Trojan that allows this to become a 3-on-1 essentially.
Play on the HE. That did some damage. Haggy gave them some safety in that last round with the multi-kill and the 3v3. Allowed them to stay alive. This time his smoke's going to be disrespected in such a fashion in which they contact through it. Closest rotate is deep middle. How explosive is this execution going to be? I'm just going to test how effective Taggy can be. Because there is no help coming at all. You just got to do a lot of this by himself. Just buy time. Flashbang is all the deterrence utility you can really bring to the table used effectively. That's fantastic. Now he's got extra help. The extra flashbang rolls through. A second bit of utility. A third flashbang, and Taggy has done more than enough. And 2-0. With the little help that they had, they managed to make it look flawless. What a beautiful defense. Taggy, a lot of pressure on his shoulders. But helped out with Neo there with the extra utility. And Akimbo still kicking.
Yeah, when you talk about a game of seconds, and that's what Counter-Strike is, it's these seconds here where Taggy tosses his flash in, and I mean, everybody in there, that approach, full blind for the first 2 seconds, and it's, like you said, fantastic utility layering. You add that second one, Neo tosses, it's another 4 seconds total gained for Akimbo, and I mean, they didn't even need that time buying measure when Taggy's tripling up. Seemed like lag. I think trying to force their way through the hoop there. You know, it wasn't fitting just right. So they'll go back to the drawing board.
Yo, farming up some sweet ecos. Taggy now the one setting up the flashbangs for his teammate. A little love given back and forth between those two. Quick communication, quick kills.
That's actually two positions for me, Anubis A player and mid player. The communication maybe has to be one of the best between those two guys. A lot of stuff can happen very quickly, and being able to effectively like coordinate each other to provide the support is obviously really important. What is this line? I guess Molly nade combo to handle the Rops player.
A lot more patience on display now. Trying to work this E-box control. He highlighted the success story of Lag on the CT side was winning out on so many of these duels. Well, there you go. Obi Sinswin hacking and identifies a second target. That's such a great follow-up, Molly. Smoke tossed in, difficulties in trying to make your way through this round. Molly will flush Obi into the open. That's a big pickup now, back in return. The E-box player does fall victim, but Nick X is still cracking through. And Neo makes a rotation through that position in which his teammates once were. It's a surprise, and Nick X will fight as hard as he can, but won't be able to get much past that.
Just didn't know how quick Neo was able to get back in there. And a Crawl's triple kill kind of flies under the radar, but Lag's certainly not going to be feeling anything but pain on that one. It's Lag tack. And I will say props to Lag. I think they've been getting good value out of having, you know, a coach for the first time after Rascal was left, retired is what happened there. Clear that Lag like to lean back on the fact that they've got somebody there.
See what they can make. Another B-side target, it seems. Time around. A single. Ready to go here towards E-box. There's a connection on the transition in towards the site. That does a lot of damage initially, but the overrunning presence and a long spray from Obi that does get punished. There's another player in E-box, though, believe it or not. Weeza forced to jump into the fire and the flames. Still kicking, though. Still fighting. Needs Trojan to make that next move. Smoke gets recycled, but that's going to fade, not in his favor. Bomb hits the floor. Trojan never exits. So he's going to be on the outside looking in. Akimbo, another round in a row. Not giving up, man. They just won't give up on this.
I don't think it's in their veins. I don't think it's possible. Akimbo just constant fight back. I've referenced the advanced finals that they just won. Like, these guys they will play and play and play. That day, they played like 6 maps in a row. They had CCT into a best of 5 where it went all the way. No breaks. They end up winning in both of those scenarios. Like, I don't know, not a lot of teams that have that sort of staying power, especially not here in North America.
It's endurance. Crucial. They have that. Their disposal, that is for sure. A little lurk smoke action here, a little poking and prodding on this side of the map. The diligence on the spam, though. Experative finally able to punish what has been such a problem, but Neo and Taggy again, this 1-2 duo putting pressure. Nick X looking to recover. Does make a move through the smoke. He's hit the timing, though. Wait a second, he's just hit the timing. Mike and Neo on the chopping block here, it seems. Headshots could roll on out here. He's going to take his time with it, line up both these kills. One, the other. Nick X could just cap it off here. A monster map for a monster play to finish. And both hit the deck early. A 2v3. It's up to Taggy and Krause. Look to save this one. Nick X still providing a bit of value here. Just get knocked out eventually. A big pickup. Taggy. The quick kill. Time buying measures. Trojan with a Molotov out. That's going to cut off one of those players. They double swing the Opera. That is so smart. They don't give him a chance to even fight forward. And running low on time. Taggy with a kid at the very least, but needs to make it happen and can't. Will be shut out and shut down. Trojan will be the one to cap it off there with a great play from Nick X to start it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the round-winning, game-winning play. Honestly, series-winning is what Nick X was doing there. I mean, consistently, both in Mirage and Anubis, the 2 maps that Lag won, I feel like he was the guy to talk about. You know, Mirage, he kind of stepped up. It was not just early, but throughout. And this one, he commanded that game. Him and Trojan early, but Nick X continued regardless. Nobody had the same impact he did throughout this series for Lag. And yeah, a massive win for Lag. This is something that I think would have been a real devastating loss for them, more than just the win. A devastating loss if they were to have lost to, to Akimbo with a couple of subs. I think this would have been a struggle for them. What is very early into this look for this team. This win, I think, helps build them some momentum.
Yeah.
Brings them back in and allows them to move forward.
That's just what it is, right? I mean, I think if you're losing out to, a player like we have highlighted coming into this one that doesn't have a lot of recent history on the game, it would have been a bit brutal. And we saw at times where I think maybe we could have asked a little bit more out of what would have been just a stand-in player. If it was the full squad, it could have been different results with how close that second map was. But in map 3, the full takeover from Lag, 10-2 CT side, asserting their dominance. Crazy punches being thrown from Trojan and Nick X, that duo, showing so much efficiency. As I highlighted, credit to Akimbo for never backing down in this matchup and never giving up at all. Very impressed with that resiliency. Very impressed that they're able to sneak a map win here despite having to come back on an Ancient as well, but I think definitely hindered by some of those standard situations will cost them in the end, right?
I think so, yeah. I mean, obviously, I think Taggy played a really good game, played really well. I think it goes to show, where Akimbo have just kind of a really loose style. I think that's part of why Taggy's been able to jump in here and be actually a really effective piece. Doesn't end up mattering in this one. Not enough. Despite that 1-2 punch you were talking about, whereas Taggy and Neo just really consistent on the CT side, especially to help pull them back in, give them some something to work from on the CT side. But regardless, for me, about lag in particular, this is a team I'm really excited about. I really want to see more from. The fact that it's a swap up there with OG Wizard going to Party Astronauts and then Trojan coming in, I think that created a lot of question marks for me. Watching Trojan in this series alleviates some of those. Knew what Ray had to offer, and I think given a little bit more time, this team, they have the ceiling to go back and do what we saw last season, where they came into ECL last season and they were like showing that they are consistently going to be able to be a mid-table team. We didn't see that quite this season, but I think that that's coming back with a win like this.
Absolutely, and I think there's opportunity to fight forward here for lag. Obviously, looking to rebound strong after a lot of roster changes being made, but I have high expectations that this can work, especially if we see more of that out of Trojan with the op, right? He really worked some excellent stuff turning around in that third map, and even on that second, as you mentioned. Nick X still looking sharp. We're looking good on that side of things, but that's going to be the victory. That's going to be a lag moving forward. We do have another best of 3 for the night, though. We got one more to close it off. It's going to be Party Astronauts and Undefined. We're going to be tossing this one to a quick break, and once we come back, we'll be hopping in to the breakdown for the last map of the night.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.
Do you have any unnecessary skins or want to sell them? Try SkinPlace. Visit the website, select the skins you want to use. Easily fill your Steam trade link. Make sure we offer good prices and choose a payment method. Hit the button and boom, instant cash. Safety. Low commissions. Instant payouts. SkinPlace.
SkinPlace launching an event with a total prize pool of $10,000 in honor of our first anniversary. Just sell skins, claim daily bonuses, complete missions, visit the shop, and participate in the main giveaway with popular skins and a powerful PC. Follow our social media to not miss.